always having a good laugh when I've got Mr. Aaron Badgley in backstage as we're getting ready to go live. And we always seem to crack each other up because the man here is the author.
No, we always get to crack ourselves up because we you know what, Tom and I just have a good little kibitz,
Yes.
Kibitz.
Yes. So, anyways, but we know Mr. Badgley here. First of all, Tom here, Two Legs Podcast. It is Wednesday. It is your midweek Mac and break, and also in kind of a celebration of the 9th anniversary of the show. I am going to be doing something that I have been wanting to do for a while, and that is rank everything. And when I say rank everything, I am talking about canon. I'm talking about experimental. I'm talking about classical. I'm talking about live. So, however, everything but compilations. All right. I really don't feel like compilations are their own thing. Maybe I think we have ranked the compilations at 1.2. But Aaron, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I did my own ranking, and everything tied at 1. I don't know how it happened. I got 47 number ones. I honestly, I don't know how, but I'm excited to do this. All I'm doing, I feel like the color commentary for the baseball game. You're going to do the play-by-play, and every so often I'll throw in, hey Tony, just a little comment here and there.
Right. Yes. You're going to be making some comments here and there, and I look forward to hearing what you say about these because I'm sure you know and all have all of these items that I'll be showing here. Oh, he had to do it. He had to do it.
So glad to finally get it. I'm really excited. There it is. Yeah.
Tony, how you doing? James.
Hi, James. Hi, Tony.
Boys, part of the James gang there. Lynn has been doing a great job of catching up and listening to all this stuff that she hasn't listened to. She's listened to all the classical stuff, the experimental stuff, and I'm really, really proud and happy that she gave all this stuff a chance because, look, if Paul McCartney is going to be your favorite artist, you at least owe the man the respect to listen to everything he's put out at least once, wouldn't you say?
I think so. I think that when you're looking at a catalog or a body of work, you can't just kind of, say, well, I'll just do the rock because that's not a complete picture of the artist. And McCartney is a remarkably diverse artist. He's remarkably talented, and he's tried different things. I think the only thing he hasn't really tried, I would say, is like, screamo, but he will. I don't know.
We'll maybe one day. I mean, it's not like Neil Young where you can like disregard his Geffen output, right? It's just.
Now wait a minute.
No, just teasing. No, you gotta get the Geffen work too.
I know you're teasing. I know you. No, but it's true for McCartney because his classical work, his rock, his everything is all part of who he is, and it's experimental stuff.
Right. Yep.
Experimental stuff like.
The running theme of tonight's show is going to be Aaron rubbing rushes in the vinyl version.
I'm just asking because you got the all the best on 7-inch singles, which I've been dying for. So
yes,
I don't have that.
That's true. Yes, Ted, good to see you. Thanks for popping in, my friend.
Hi, Ted.
We've got Beatley Tone. Hello, my friend.
Hey,
it's good to see you. Lynn says, yes, indeed, and I'm fully prepared to appreciate this. Thank you, Lynn. That means a lot, as the man sang. Tony says, I've met them both, and neither are as good looking in the flesh as they are.
No, this is true.
High praise. No, I was kidding. Neil Young was sued for not. I know, and that's quite humorous. Well, somebody should write a book about that.
I'll get on that.
Yes. And speaking of books, we can talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. What, Ringo in the 70s? Is that correct?
It's actually called Early 1970. Ringo Starr 1970 to 1980
Love
is in the publisher's hands as we speak during the final edits. And it's we're hoping to get because of the publisher is hoping to get the book out in early November. So I know it seems like a quick turnaround, but they're almost done the editing. I got the photos. We'll put it all together and send it to the printers in October. So that's the plan.
So early November for early 1970.
Except it's late 2025, but
right.
I'm very excited.
Good, my friend.
I'm really hoping that people like it, and I hope that people learn from it more importantly. So yeah, I'm excited.
Right. Well, when it gets really close to it coming out, we'll have you on again, and we can talk about all the areas where you can get the book, and you can just send out all the free copies that you want and all that stuff. And
number one on my list, Tommy.
Oh, stop. Afternoon, Tom and Aaron. How you doing, Uncle Paul? Live tonight, Mr. Stickermania preparing while blasting blue vinyl. Wings greatest.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Love it. And we're going to be talking about Wings here for a couple minutes before we do the rankings, so stay tuned for that. Tony says, Tom, have you seen Spinal Tap's sequel yet? I'm going Friday. Well, I am going tomorrow night, 7 p.m. So, yeah, I'll be seeing Spinal Tap Thursday night, and I'm really looking forward to it. What about you, Aaron?
My daughter's seeing it tonight in Dublin.
Excellent. Very cool. Very cool. Ali says, hello, fellows. I hope I haven't missed the main event. Not yet. But welcome, Ali. Uncle Paul says, yes, ordered the 3 LP colored vinyl and 2 CD sets.
Did you get a T-shirt, Uncle Paul? I got a T-shirt too.
Did you order the whole pack with the T-shirt? Yeah. See, I did think about that, but I went for the one without the T-shirt. I'm probably going to regret that, but because it's all about the T-shirt these days. But I did order the 2 Back to the Egg shirts and the 1 London Town shirt. I
ordered 1 Back to the Egg and a London Town poster because I thought maybe if we all order these things, he'll put the box sets out.
It's over, my friend. It's done. We're gonna be talking about this real quick. The Wings compilation, the brand new Wings compilation, which is more done right than, let's say, Wingspan. Okay, Wingspan came out 2001, and we got the treasure trove of Wing stuff, but he foolishly put, in my opinion, solo stuff on there, which I don't think belonged. However, I do not mind, say, Another Day or Uncle Albert on these things, because you have half of Wings on there with Linda and Denny Sywell. You know what I mean?
Okay, but and this is where I become a wee bit, predictable. I felt the same way. And I thought that the Wingspan should just be Wings. I love Another Day. I love Uncle Albert. Ram's, an amazing album. But I just felt, no, Paul, let's just this is Wings. This is your band. Let's treat it. That's,
Yes, right. If there was any point in time for Paul to say, look, Wings was a band. It's right now, and you should have included. I thought you maybe include Seaside Woman, okay? Maybe include, a lead vocal for Jimmy. Take your pick. More of a lead vocal than just Deliver Your Children. For Denny. And then obviously must do something about it for Joe English. What are your thoughts on that?
For the new compilation, you mean, or the
for the new compilation.
Yeah, I mean, it's Wings was a band, and should be treated as such. I mean, when you look at Wings, it's a band, and I agree with you. It could have very easily been. I mean, especially with CDs, you got so much time to fill up. There's no problem with adding. I would have put both McCulloch tracks. Yeah. I would have put Denny Lane. I definitely would have put Deliver Your Children, which I love, but I would have put Again and Again and Again. And
same here. Yeah.
Love that song. And I would Cook of the House, maybe, if not Seaside Woman, or both. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm just going to say this right now up front. We could pick holes in the new compilation. I'm kind of excited about it, and I'm really excited about the 5.1. I'm so over the top with that, so I'm good.
Right. So you got the Blu-ray as well, then?
I did because I still have a Blu-ray player, and I've been waiting for the McCartney and Beatles stuff. No doubt there'll be a box set at some point. Blu-rays, but yeah, Ringo's, because I have Ringo's 5.1 compilation, which sounds to this day it's one of the best sounding 5.1s I own, and Love sounded amazing in 5.1. Quite frankly, so I'm very excited to hear this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too. I know we all are. I know we already have all this, and I'm hoping that some people will now finally realize that the archives are dead.
They're not.
You know,
They're not. They're on life support.
No, they're on life support. Oh, life support. Listen to me. How many years need to go by before you're finally convinced, my friend? How many years need to go by? It's been 5 now. Okay. How many? No, come on. Let's be straight with ourselves. Come on. Let's not sugarcoat this.
I'm not sugarcoating it. I have a question for you.
Yes.
And do you suppose with this compilation coming out, and it's coinciding with the time of his North American tour, do you think he's going to include more Wings songs?
I've been thinking about that, and I'm very hopeful that he includes a few more Wings songs in this set list. Maybe, take good, but that being said, take away Beatles songs. Don't take away solo stuff. We're here to see Paul McCartney. Okay, I want to hear Paul McCartney things. And yes, he was a member of the Beatles, but you know what? Take away something. Take away being for the benefit for Mr. Kite. Add more Wings stuff. I think this will make a lot of people happy.
Well, even I don't know why he doesn't do Silly Love Songs. One of the biggest records of the decade that he should be doing. I mean, doing Silly Love Songs, or I know it's not on the compilation, but open the set with Big Barn Band. I could actually walk out of the venue, die, be a happy man.
Listen, I agree with you 120%. But if he's gonna do more Wing songs, they're gonna be more well-known Wing songs.
Okay, so
I have no problem with either.
No, listen. Add in Helen Wheels, add in Helen Wheels would be great. Like, listen to what the man said. He did that. Did that back in '76. Do it again.
Right.
I've had enough would be awesome. With a little luck,
I've had enough. Even though it's not one of my favorite rockers from Paul, adding I've had enough would be worth the price of administration alone. I think.
Oh, getting closer. How about even All I Am
closer? Yes, I agree. James says I'll snare a copy of Aaron's book.
James, thank you.
There you go. Uncle Paul says he passed on the T-shirts. I'm going to go back and get more. I'm going to get all those posters. I'm going to go back and get all those posters too. Okay. And I also want the people to know out there that, look, just because I'm getting this stuff, I don't think I'm any more of a Paul McCartney fan than you guys are. I know people just want the music, and I think that's fantastic because I want the music too. But because I feel like I work hard for my money. So hard for it, honey. This is how I choose to spend my money on Paul McCartney stuff. So Tony D says I would get every Wings album on color vinyl. So would I.
Me too.
So would I. James Boyce says I've ordered the Blu-ray of the Wings comp. I ordered the 2 legs.
I'm here.
Nice.
You sent something in my Siri.
What's that, buddy?
Siri went off. It's all good. Siri is just eavesdropping.
Okay. Gotcha. Let's see here. Looks like I'm on an echo over there now.
Thanks, Beto Tone.
I ordered the same 2 as Aaron for exactly the same reason. There you go.
I know it may be faulty logic, Beto Tone, but listen, if I can help, I'll help.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too. I think this new comp would be better received with one new Wing song or an unreleased track. Water Spout, Cage. Have we met here before? Met somewhere before? All that stuff. That one track did get officially released, but there's so many things that Paul could have.
When did it get officially?
Wasn't that one of the B-sides on a CD single, or am I thinking of something else?
Same time next year did.
Same time next year. That's what I was. Yes.
But you know what?
Yes,
I've yet to find a complete version of Have We Met Somewhere Other because it's from the film usually, and it's
Rock and Roll High School, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you do hear it twice in the movie, but some parts are longer than the others. So, but yes, thank you.
I took a tape recorder to that movie. It's that like there
Of
was
course
no
you did.
there. Seriously, it was an afternoon show. There was no one in the theater. I just sat by the
Right.
speaker and recorded the song, then tried to make
Yeah,
my own.
and here you are. You got so many great Ramones classics in there, and then halfway through the movie, you get this mellow Paul back.
The Ramones tracks were on the soundtrack. I have the soundtrack.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up, but
Yeah. Tony Paul is trying to make up for that mistake now. I think the compilation doesn't have enough songs. Yeah. Ali says water spout.
Yeah, I
Well,
love
yeah.
I do.
Let's see here. James says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone." James, we got the James gang is here. I love it.
Me too.
Yep. James Boyce says more wildlife songs than Back to the Egg tracks. Go figure. Wildlife. Hey, listen, it's all part of my theory that Paul does not like Back to the Egg and London Town as a whole. I mean, yeah, he can say he likes Arrow Throw Me all he wants, but here's the thing. Okay, let's hypothetical here. Let's say the London Town and Back to the Egg Has-Be Masters come out, and there's no sign of the archives. Are you then convinced that the archives are dead?
No.
Okay. Hey, look. I love the optimism. I love the positivity. I do, because I don't want them to end either. I'm just.
I'm hoping that. Here's my hope. This Wings does really well. The book does well. The documentary does well. And McCartney goes, you know what? Let's finish it. And let's do a 2-set box. Like he did. See, I thought with the Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway, and then you can buy them 2 together, like I did.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I thought for sure he would do the last 2, London Town, Back to the Egg.
Same. Yeah.
But
boom. Same here, my friend. Yeah, Norm, how you doing, my friend? Mazzy's here. More songs, more time, more publishing costs, more. Yes. And I love this song. James says, "Take these broken wings and learn to fly again and spend all your money." Yeah. Boyce says the archives are in a coma. All right.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I like the analogies.
Right. Alex says the best comps from history include 1 or 2 unreleased tracks. Yeah. Sure. Tony says, was the Band on the Run underdub album really necessary? For hardcore collectors. Tone says, if they included a song from all the members, they might have included Cook of the House, and nobody would want that. Yeah, but that's why I say Seaside Woman. Seaside Woman was in those early Wings live sets. So
can I just point out? And I know this must bore people to tears when I say this, but Seaside Woman was a very big hit here in Canada. Believe it or not, it actually made the top 20, and here in Toronto, it made the top.
Really?
10. Yeah, it was a big hit. It was massive. Yeah. You couldn't turn on the radio. It was funny because we used to play that back to back with Mabel and Maze live, so it was very big.
Nice.
Here. Yeah.
Very cool. I like to hear that. Tony D says Tom Petty wisely put 2 new songs on his greatest hits, and it was chronological. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
What? Greatest hits compilation should be chronological. I'm going to go to my grave defending that statement.
So greatest hits should be chronological. Comp should be chronological as well.
Yes.
Everything. Yeah, okay. All right.
I prefer it. That's just my preference. Can I tell you the funny story about when I was in Ireland and the gentleman Paul Muldoon who helped McCartney with his lyric book, and I was at a bookstore and I was saying to someone, I go, yeah, this book is fantastic. It's brilliant, best thing ever. Sadly, it's not chronological. And this guy taps me on the shoulder and goes, well, that was my doing. Because I convinced Paul not to go chronological, and I'm like,
really?
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, sir, sorry.
Yeah, because that tells a story. Then it flows nicely. Yeah, I get it. Ollie says I'm caring. He says getting closer is on it, isn't it? And it is. It is.
I thought it was.
It was. That's why I said it is. It is. Christian says hello, Tom and Aaron. Hello. Our buddy Ted says, I love the posters. So do I.
Yeah, I do too. They were nice posters.
Tony D says, baby's request should be included. Now, there goes the problem, right? There's the problem because everybody's comp would be different.
Now, to Tony's credit, though, Baby's Request was a sizable hit in the UK and Europe. So,
okay, fair.
I mean, it was a hit. So, I love the song Tony, just so you know.
Right. Like I don't. Just like no, no. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, listen. Mazzy says this is a great example of younger buyers under 50 who may not have everything. Yeah, and I like your video on that respect.
Me too.
These reissues are for those fans, and yes, there are fans out there. Record store day. Whenever I was camping out, no matter what they were after, okay, half of the crowd were probably 50 or under. A lot of younger people are buying vinyl.
Well, when I'm talking to my daughter in Ireland and she's got a friend with her, and the friend says, "I can't believe you were alive when Wings were together," I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh." Yes, I was, honey. I was. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that was way back when. But Mazzy's point, there's a lot of people in their 20s who are excited about this compilation.
Yes. And just like I was, I mean, back in my teens in the 80s, I was excited. I mean, that's all I collected for the longest time was compilations and greatest hits. So Byers says, I really don't care about the new comp, but I do hope it introduces new young fans to Wings, which this is what that's what these things do. To get overexcited for London Town Back to the Egg, but I do like the look of those T-shirts. Yes. Ollie says Mama's Little Girl was a B-side. Yes, but not until later on.
Great song.
CD B-side, though, we should say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. James Boyce says, I think instead of a 1 CD and a 2 CD, I think a 2 CD and a 3 CD of this comp would have been better. Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
I agree with you, James.
Yeah.
100%.
Billy Tone says, yes, if London Town and Back to the Egg come out on remaster, the concern. I see it. Yes, if London Town and Back to the Egg come out remastered, then I can see the archives are dead. But until then, I'm still a believer. Well, I like that. However,
you and me, Billy Tone. You and me.
Isn't that you and I? No, just kidding. Just teasing. Just teasing. Tony D says Tom Petty's second wife. And listen to his album Echo a lot. He grew to like it a lot. And the more Nancy needs to get Paul to learn to love Back to the Egg and London Town. Yeah, fair. You shouldn't need anybody's help though. Let's see here. Lynn says, I don't understand why Paul wouldn't like London Town and Back to the Egg. I really enjoy those albums, maybe because they didn't sell. Well, London Town did, and plus, I mean, it was number 2, okay, but nothing was passing Saturday Night Fever then. Nothing. Or was it Saturday Night Fever then that was number 1 at that time?
Yeah. He loves Ram. Never made number 1 in America, and that was because Tapestry. Again, here in Canada, London Town did overtake Saturday Night Fever, thankfully, and then Ram did overtake Tapestry. He just has a knack of releasing records when someone else, like I'm sure he'll release his new album the same day as Taylor Swift. Like it'll just be ridiculous.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. The archives are deaded.
Thank you.
Gabby, how you doing, girl? Hi, Aaron, Tom. My mom is asking me to ask Aaron how TIFF was.
Okay, TIFF was insane, and I went to the premiere of a movie called You Had to Be There, and because my wife's cousin was a producer on the film, we got to go to the special screening and do the red carpet, and I've never been in front of – I made a joke to her husband. I said, this reminds me of my book signing, but there's thousands of people around and cheering and taking photos of Eugene Levy and Paul Schaefer. Paul Schaefer, super nice guy. I got to even talk to him about Ringo. Nice. Because Ringo's on his album. So no, it was fun. TIFF was great. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for asking.
Very cool. Great, Gabby. Thank you. Alex says, I think we have every US, UK top 20 bar Irish and Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah, I wish he'd put those two on, but I understand why he wouldn't.
Right. Lynn says, would there actually be songs for London Town Back to the Egg sessions that would be included in an archive set that are not available somewhere else like YouTube? Well, we don't know. I mean, listen, there's been bootlegs on the Press to Play. I'm not sorry, no Pipes of Peace, right? That didn't have It's Not on there. I mean, as far as I know, it's not on. The only time we've ever heard that was from this archive set. I don't know if it's ever been heard.
I never heard of it
in bootleg form, you know. All right, we're going to wind up these questions here, and then we're going to get to the ranking. Gabby says, Wingspan was released the same year I was born, but before I was born, so this is the first fully Wings comp released in my lifetime, besides Pure McCartney, so I welcome it. And that's, again, I guess, the theory on these releases, right? There are still young Beatles fans. There are still young John, Paul, George, and Ringo Beatles fans out there, and as other people said in their videos, I mean, this is the job of the record company to sell records. And yes, sell them to younger people. That's what they do. I mean, that's who's buying. Yes, I know older people buy them too, as we are older and we're still buying them. But yes, it's younger people as well.
It keeps the music in circulation. And Bobby, to your point, did you see those clips of people hearing now and then going, I never thought I'd live to see a new Beatles song in my lifetime because I'm 25. They missed Free as a Bird and Real Love. So
that was me 30 years ago with Free as a Bird and Real Love, you know.
Right. So yeah. Saying, Gabby, and I'm glad you raised that because there are, believe it or not, a lot of young Paul McCartney and Wings fans. So as I said, I know some people don't really care about this compilation. I'm kind of excited about it. So,
Yes. Look, I bought the 3 LP color vinyl. I will probably get the Blu-ray as well. So there's that. Okay. Christian says, Reckon Wings Live, number 1 coming up, should have been included, plus Give Ireland and Mary Had. Yeah, maybe. See, again, there's the thing, it's everybody's own compilation would be very different.
Mine would be different too, right? But having said that, it's kind of like, I do equate things with food because I like food,
right?
But it doesn't matter at the buffet because if everything at the buffet I like, I'm okay,
right?
So I'm good.
Everybody's palate is different. Buyer says, if we get an archive of pressing play. Depresses me before London Town and Back to the Egg. So say we riot. Yeah, that would be fun. We should riot. But anyways, if it were to continue and we're just waiting on, legalizations or, legalities of, Back to the Egg to finalize, why not Off the Ground? I mean, Off the Ground is a perfect example of of something that would be a kick-ass archive because you had so many extra bonus tracks, you had so many extra live footage, and documentaries that you could have added. Off the Ground archive would have been fantastic.
I totally agree with you, and also, Give My Regrets to Broad Street because you got the film. I'm sure there's outtakes from the film. I'm sure there's outtakes from the live concert stuff in the film, not the concert, but the rehearsing. I'm sure there's a treasure trove of stuff from the.
There would be a demo of On the Wings of a Nightingale.
We've heard it. I mean, it's on. You can find it on YouTube, right? It's great. So yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Okay. Beatly Tone says maybe Back to the Egg brings back bad memories of the bust and jail in Japan. Good reason to hate it as is the broadcast. Yeah, I get that. Absolutely. You might be right there, buddy.
But what about London Town, Beatly Tone?
Yeah. What about good. Yeah. Very nice, Aaron. So cool. You got to talk to Paul Schaefer. Sounds like you had a great time.
I did. And the after party was cool because being in Canada, we got to make your own Tim Hortons donut, which was
nice.
Very nice.
Yes. Mr. Broadstreet says, I say Broadstreet press Off the Ground and London Town Back to get all out there, but what do I know?
You know a lot, and I agree with you. And maybe even Kisses on the Bottom.
Well, we'll see about that. I finally got Luca's press play. If that means anything of where it might end up on this ranking, we'll see. Good day to you, sir. Paul, how are you doing? You're correct. The music business is a business. That's right. Is the music business, not the music friends. Hello, Tom. Hello. Good to see you, George. Thanks for being here. Boyce says Paul must be one of the only major artists to not have all of his albums easily available in updated sound quality. That could be. That could.
Good point. It's a good point, James. You raise a good issue.
And Mazzy, I was really sorry to hear this during your video. I've retired from buying these comps, but viewers are welcome to send copies to support the channel. Oh, that was funny. Yes, but I'm sure you'll change your mind. I still haven't changed my mind yet about the Power to the People box. I still have not pre-ordered it. You can market to both casual and hardcore fans. Absolutely. And I think they go ahead.
I pre-ordered the box set from Walmart in the States because it was $81. So.
Oh, that's right. So you got it while it was $81. Good for you. Which some people might think it was an accident, but I think it probably wasn't selling. So they said, here, we're going to give a 20-hour flash sale.
I took advantage of it. Advantage of it.
There you go. Gabby says, I'm very happy with the color vinyl and super happy to have an excuse to celebrate some amazing people like Denny Sywell Henry and Jeff Britton. I like that. Good. Nice comment there, Gabby.
Nice, Gabby. Beautiful.
Christian says Wings Live coming up was not record. Gotta be. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what that's on.
Yeah, 2 years off. 2 years ago, Off the Ground had a 30th anniversary. That's right. Yeah, the live coming up is not on there.
Okay, but it's a Wings song. It should be there. Actually, you know what would have been a nice bonus? Some stuff from the Campuchia concert that's not on the live Campuchia album, or even that stuff which is no longer available.
Okay. Tony says just that I think you can with smaller and bigger sets. Well, he did that kind of like with Flaming Pie. He did like a big massive set, right? He did the smaller massive sets. Aaron, it doesn't really. He doesn't release London Town because he hates me. Very funny, buddy.
Whatever you did, you need to apologize.
I apologize.
That's very funny.
I have to attend to work, but much love. Thank you, Broad Street. Let me know if you want to room me again in the fest, if and when they ever announce the next year's fest. Get the Power to the People box, Tom. It's awesome. Okay, listen. I have been thinking about it, and I appreciate that tone, and I'm super happy you are enjoying it because listen, the Lennon Camp, the Lennon Estate, whatever you want to call it, is the standard for these box sets. That's
Really?
just my opinion. I think so. I think for the value for what you're getting, I think they are the standard. I think
I would argue that because there's other really good, like Jethro Tull comes to mind, and a few.
I'm talking about Beatles and the Beatles world.
Fair enough. Absolutely, 100%. I agree with you. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got on the same page with that one. The boy says the new Wings comp will help the surviving members with a payday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
If anything, Denny gets a co-write with Deliver Your Children, so maybe his ex-wife, not ex-wife, but widow, I should say, will get something maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Prefer Studio coming up, as do I, my friend. As do I.
But Wings did do the live one. That was a hit. So
yes, it was. So it was. Denny Lane's family should be happy with the residuals. Yes. Rocco says, where am I seeing Macca? Well, I am seeing Macca in Vegas, Minneapolis, Tulsa, and Chicago. And I'm still on the lookout for Hamilton, Pittsburgh, and Columbus. So as those shows come up a little closer, I'm sure prices will come down a little bit more, and then I will snatch up some more tickets.
I'm just curious, who's going to see Ringo tonight in Chicago? Is he in Chicago tonight? Because Keith's going. Keith Newmark. I'm just wondering.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is anyone going to? Gabby, are you going to see Ringo tonight? I'm dying here because I can't go because I'm not in Chicago.
Right.
I'm in Toronto.
Yep. My cousin here says archives have been dormant half as long as they were alive. Yes, I know. The fork is in it. I'm glad I have someone on my side, even though I don't care if it's family or not. As they say, families got to stick together, right? Henry says, "What's up, Tom and Aaron? How you doing?" Rocco says, "Do you have a set list?" No, and nobody's going to have a set list until the first night of the tour. Well, I should say not anybody. I mean, the band's going to have the set list as well, but
maybe not.
Ted says, didn't Paul buy Denny's rights to the songs when he fell on hard times? My understanding it was just Mull of Kintyre, but we'll have to go back and look at that.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I thought it was just Mull of Kintyre as well, but it could have been all of them.
Yeah. Gabby says, no, I live in New York. I wish I was going to see Ringo. Okay. All right. Well, we're okay. We're going to get to this ranking here because I don't want this to turn into a 24-hour stream. Although, I would, but damn it. Now I got to make a freaking phone call. Give me a second.
Well, okay. Do you want me to just talk and bring? So, hi. Do you know me? No, you know what? I think that a lot of people's points about the new compilation are valid, and it's not for everybody. And I'm not the biggest fan of compilations, but I'm going to enjoy this one, and especially no one's mentioned the 5.1. A couple of people mentioned the Blu-ray, but I'm stoked about that. So,
hey.
Oh, he's still on the phone. I thought he was putting his headphones back on to. I can read them, but I can't put them up because only Tom has that kind of power. I'm just a guest, you see. Someone read James. You asked about how it's going to fare commercially. I'm going to wager a bet that it's going to be a big album. I think it's going to. I don't know about North America. I'm sure. I'm looking at the charts in England. I'm sure it's going to top the UK charts, especially the vinyl. They seem to be embracing compilations these days. Elton John's, for example, is still in the top 100. Billy Joel, David Bowie. So I think it'll do well. I would hope so. But I wonder, again, if this will give him, the encouragement to release some other Wings stuff. I think Paul has always thought that maybe Wings never got the respect it deserved. And he might be right. He might be wrong. But, I mean, I still think they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a band. That's what I think. But yeah, I agree. I'd be curious to see how it does financially.
What's that?
Not financially, commercially. The new McCartney album.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
All right, all right. Wise
you.
Guy. Yeah, let's read his lips. All right, guys. We're gonna hold off on the comments here for a minute, okay? Because we're gonna get this ranking thing going. It'll be interesting to see how this comp fares commercially. Yes. Looking forward to seeing Ringo Saturday in Louisville. Hope to see some fellow Beatle people there. Okay.
I wish I was there. Was there.
Gabby says, hold on here. Gabby says, oh, come on. Get back. Hey, Aaron, are you thinking of getting any T-shirts like Tom? Well, you did get it. You did get a couple, right?
I got the 2 for Back to the Egg, and I got a poster for London Town. So, and I got the T-shirt with the box set. That's new, the triple album color vinyl.
Okay, cool. Tone says Wing members were never on a royalty rate apart from songs they wrote or however, Paul made payments to all members recently to service past as well as a while back, except Jeff Britton. Okay, well that's cool to know. Thank you, Tone. Any of the compilations include live cups? Well, we think the Soily is the live version, even though it doesn't say.
Wouldn't that be cool if that was the bonus track, studio cut version of Soily?
I think that would be fantastic.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah, hi, going to order the Blu-ray. Very
Me too.
Cool.
Got it. I already ordered it. So excited.
Yeah. Wingspan did really well in the UK and the US. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I think music was still was selling still very well in 2001. I mean, I know Napster was around then, but music was still selling very well in physical form. Why not Jeff Britton? I do not know. Okay, Rocco says favorite Wings lineup.
Mine or yours?
Well, are you? Well, unless you're gonna say they're all tied. Okay.
I think they're so different. I mean, like the look. I love the last lineup. Quite frankly, I thought the lineup
Right.
with the Egg was absolutely stellar, and he had
Right.
some really young, fresh people in there, and it's reflected on the album. I think that the first two albums with the original Wings is near and dear to my heart because it was something very different from the Beatles, very different and exciting. I thought I still think Wildlife is an exciting pre-punk album in many regards, and this the 75 to 78 lineup, like that's the classic lineup, isn't it? I mean, that's the most commercial. That's the classic lineup. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah.
Yep. Tony D says, if only it was still possible for Wings to be in the Hall of Fame.
Why is it not possible?
I think that ship has sailed, though, on that. Aaron, well, let me get this. Aaron, you resemble Mel Evans.
Now, is that a compliment or not? I'm wondering. Here, let me take my glasses off. Is that better?
Yeah. Dino says, I expect Paul will introduce extra Wings songs. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Tone says here they just added to the site. It's from One Hand Clapping. There you go. It wasn't there originally. Yes, that's awesome.
Is that what it is?
How do I? Yeah, they just said it's the one from One Hand Clapping.
Okay.
Which is good, but I still prefer that Wings Over America version. Soile's from One Hand Clapping. Everybody says there. Okay. Voice is not good for the band, but the lineup changes make the albums a little more distinctive.
Well said. Yeah, well said. Yeah.
Yes, Dino says, I'm not happy with the new Wings comp, but see it as a precursor to Wings. Come on. Well, just hold your breath and you let me know how long you live there, Dino, my friend. All right, because I am not holding my breath anymore. Okay, listen, we're going to this ranking now. Okay, here we go. This is kind of what, yeah, right. Not now. Listen, all right, 47. I ranked 47 albums. I've been having a great time, being reintroduced and reevaluating a lot of these albums. A lot of them I haven't listened to in decades, and this was a lot of fun. Now, number 47, Aaron, and I only included this one because you suggested that I include it, and I'm glad you did. And here's why: because this was a fantastic listen. It's fantastic. I loved listening to this, and prior to I had never listened to it, so this was my first time listening to The Family Way. Okay,
really?
Yes, I bought the record store day in 2015, but I never listened to it. But here's the reason why it's 47, even though I like this a lot. And why do you think it's number 47, Aaron?
Well, I don't think McCartney had a whole lot to do with it. He kind of wrote he wrote basically a riff that became the soundtrack to it. But what a beautiful riff it is.
Yes.
Very reminiscent of For No One. For No One.
Right. Yes.
For No One. There we go. Got it.
But I do recommend people give it a listen. I think it's a wonderful classical album, and at least it deserves a listen. Okay, so that's 47. All right, 46. I did listen to this when I first got it, and I thought it was cool back then. But upon reevaluating, all it is the same track remixed over and over and over again. And that's Strawberries, Ocean Ships, and Forests. Okay, kind of cool, good for maybe just background music or whatever. But I don't think it's that good, to be honest with you. Especially not on repeating listens. Like once maybe decade. You'll throw this in and reevaluate it. But what say you?
It's very much an album of its time. And I think also he had to do that to kind of get his feet wet in what was going on avant-garde wise in the 90s musically. And
Right.
while I agree with you, it's probably my least favorite of the Fireman albums. There's still moments on that album you kind of go, that's pretty
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
But does it bear listening every week? Absolutely not. No.
Right. Now, maybe just above that in kind of cool and kind of more interesting, only because there is a Beatle connection to that, and that's the Liverpool Sound collage. Okay, from 2000. There is some fine moments on here as well. You know, Plastic Beetle, Real Gone Dove. I mean, made. I mean, there's some fun stuff on here, but it's as a whole, as a piece as a whole. Again, you know, cool that he's doing all this experimentation stuff because, as we know, he is the avant-garde one, right, Joe Mayo?
He is. He is.
But that's just a little ding at my friend there.
You know,
But Liverpool Sound Collage does have its moments. But
I like Free Now.
really,
I like Free
yeah,
Now.
you do. Okay,
I do.
the last one,
I
yeah,
thought it was a really weird song for him, and
right,
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that it was a soundtrack to an installation as well, right? So it was like,
right, yeah,
and I think it might have worked better in that, But I remember buying it and thinking, this is pretty far out, and
right,
I'm an Eno fan and all that, so I liked it.
right. Yep, yep. Same here with my cousin here. Free Now gave him reunion
Oh,
song vibes when he got it in 2000. Yeah.
that's cool.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a great
right.
song.
Yes. Okay. What's number am I on now?
Uh,
47, 46, 44. 44.
44.
Okay.
I wasn't doing
44
the One Bloody
is,
Game, so this is
right.
44, right?
Yeah, 44. This is Ocean's Kingdom here. This is my least favorites of the classical stuff, but that doesn't mean I don't like it because I do like it. But um, in background music form, I mean, I'm not listening to it to study it or anything like that. I do, like I said, I do enjoy it, and I would have liked to have seen the ballet. And if it ever does come near me, I'll check it out. But
My
Ocean's
my,
Kingdom
my
for me
wife's my
is,
wife's cousin said it worked better with
yeah.
the visuals. She saw the ballet
Okay.
in New York, and
Oh, she did. Okay.
she did, and she thought the music really fit, and so she quite
Okay.
liked the soundtrack. So,
All right.
do
43.
you have that on vinyl?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I do.
just
Yeah.
checking.
Yep. 43. I've come to really just loathe it just because that he plays this song on every tour now. And I wish he'd give it up, and I know why he keeps doing it. But Kisses on the Bottom, it's just not that
You
enjoyable.
load that album, really?
I just don't enjoy it much anymore, to be honest with you. I
Hmm.
mean, I like the song selections. I like Accentuate the Positive. I love. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. But I don't. I mean, I like these things, but I don't. Go Get Yourself Another Fool is fantastic as well. But I just don't. Love the listening experience that I have for this. It's just fine. I mean, his voice works on some songs. It doesn't work on other songs, I don't think. But if he was to do this, well, I think we've all said this. It's would have been better if he did this in the 70s or 80s. While he still had the chops for it.
I don't know. It's an album that's been played in our house quite a bit. I love his version of the intro.
Okay.
I love
Right.
my very good friend, the Milkman, Bye Bye Blackbird, which I think is as good as Ringo's.
Yeah.
You mentioned Accentuate the Positive, which I love. We three, my Echo, my Shadow, and me.
Yes. Yep.
I must tell you, and I love seeing it in the big screen when the
Yeah.
concert film came out, or not concert,
Right.
it was a live in studio thing. I love it. So
Cool.
I hate the title
Well,
of the
I'm-
album, but love that.
what's that?
I hate the title of the album. I love it.
Well, see, that might be the thing I like about it, is because it's it's kind of suggestive, and
Hey,
All right.
42, right? 42.
42. This was really close. I could have put either, Kisses or this one either way. And that's McCartney 3 reimagined. Again, it's fine to listen to once again. This is going to be something else that maybe I'll listen to every 10 years or so. As we know, more kind of like experimental stuff. I do like Beck's version of Find My Way. St. Vincent's, Women and Wives remix is nice, but all in all, and this came out while quite a few artists have done this in the past, where they put out an album and then a couple months later they put out an album, the same album with other artists singing the songs. So this is nothing new, but again, it's okay.
I do absolutely adore the cover.
Oh yeah, right.
I think it's one. I do. I think it's one of the best album covers. Just because it's kind of it connects to McCartney 3, but I just think as a work of art, that's something I'd gladly have on a poster framed in my house if I could get a copy.
Right. Yeah. Duke says his 2011 voice was the last of the era for him to do the Kisses on the Bottom album. Gabby says, I like 3 Imagine. Don't know if I'd rank it in my Paul ranking, though, because of all the other artists. Yes, I agree with that. But again, it is under the McCartney canon. McCartney's name is on it. So that's why I included it, because if I didn't, somebody would have said, why didn't you include McCartney 3 Reimagined? Okay, because that's just how people are.
I don't know who you're talking to.
All right, what do I got? One at 41?
Yep.
Okay, 41. This could have been last and when I was starting to put the ranking together, I did have this last. But after thinking about it more, the Rush album, I put number 41, and although I do like the songs that he chose, I hate the production. I think it sounds like crap. This album, obviously the other one he did of 50s and 60s songs sounds 10 times better, and we'll see that later on. But again, I thought the production on this CD just sounded terrible. What did you think?
I love the album for Don't Get Around Much Anymore, which I think is one of the finest covers of any song. I mean, McCartney just makes that his absolute own. And right. I mean, I have a strange connection to that album because I got my copy from Wings Fun Club when it came out. I actually had a friend who was on a soccer team who was playing in Russia. He brought it home for me, and the copy he brought to me was different than the one that Wings Fun Club sent me.
Right. Yeah.
So it was, well, this is cool. And then someone else bought me a bootleg copy with a great cover of Paul and Linda sitting on this couch. So it's like it's all over my house. But I didn't understand the production of that album, to be frank, and it was weird. And I don't care if the album was rushed and live off the floor, but it had a very weird sound to it.
Yes, yeah, and then part of my criteria too is enjoyability, the enjoyability listening experience. And I don't enjoy listening to that album much because of the production. So therefore, it suffered the wrath. Listen, I really wish I was 16 years old when he went back on tour, and I really wish this was the first time I saw Paul live. But my number 40, is that where we're at, right? 40?
Yep.
And driving to, this was the first thing that I listened to when at 5 a.m. while I was driving to Chicago for the Chicago Fest. Because, again, this has been decades since I've listened to it. And that's Tripping the Life, fantastic. The whole thing, the double CD. And again, like the Russian album, I think this suffers from bad production. It is not a good sounding live album. Don't care for the fact that it has soundtrack songs in it either. But what do you think?
I think it sounds better on vinyl when I listen to it. Okay. I seldom, if ever, listened to the vinyl. Or the CD. I listen to the vinyl, which I think has a warmer sound to it. because that was the first time I saw McCartney, that album holds a very soft spot in my heart.
And that's understandable. It's
Because
understandable.
He opened up with Figure of Eight, which,
Yeah.
if I could have heard it over my sobbing, I
Right.
would have loved it. But
Right.
it's here's something I'm going to say, and I'm going to be blunt. I'm not the biggest fan of live albums to begin with.
Same here.
I seldom, if I'm going to just choose an album to listen to, I very seldom will pick a live album. I will pick a studio album, and that's just my ears. It's nothing
Right.
against live albums. They're just not my cup of tea to go to. There's a couple of live albums I really love. Like I love Live Feast in Toronto. I love Bangladesh. But
Yeah.
not the biggest. Like I don't put on Ringo Starr and the All Stars a whole lot, although they're great
Right.
albums and I enjoy them. I just don't put them on. So Tripping the Live, fantastic. I liked the soundcheck stuff or the other stuff that he kind of included, which I thought was fun.
Right.
I actually call his live better, which obviously you do too, because you haven't done it yet. So
hold tight, my friend. Billy Tone says, although the Russian album is poorly produced, I think the songs are way better than Run Double Run. And I tend to like the song selection on
I
the
agree.
Russian album better than Run Double Run as well. It's just Run Double Run is a better listening experience.
I want to be clear. Like, I don't think the production's poor. I think it was a artistic choice. I don't understand what it was. And it's
okay.
When I listen to it, it's funny. Again, the Russian vinyl is actually better than the CD. And I remember listening to it going, what happened to the CD? Maybe it's compressed. I don't know.
Right.
But
yeah.
The production of the CD is very odd. But
yeah. Going back to Tripping, James and Dino both agree that the Tripping seems to lack the energy and excitement that those shows had, which is unfortunate.
Well, again, he did a Wings Over the America thing where he wanted to pick tracks from different concerts.
Right.
And I sometimes think McCartney would be better served just taking one concert and just putting it out, because actually I liked the singles off the album because they had great B-sides, like Good Day Sunshine from Montreal, for example, is really love that. But I kind of agree with you. The energies doesn't represent what I heard in concert when I saw that tour. So
okay. Okay, so 39, I believe we're at.
We are. I'm keeping track.
Thank you, buddy. This is where I'm able to separate the excitement of seeing Paul for the first time to reality. Okay. Yes, I 93 was the first time I got to see Paul live. Okay. And what I saw live is a lot of it is missing from Paul Is Live. Which is very disappointing. You know, he does Another Day on that tour. He does Every Night on that tour. He does Fixing a Hole on that tour. He does the title track, Off the Ground, on that tour. Nowhere on this album. Instead, he's still putting out more soundtracks. Not soundtracks. You know what I mean? Soundcheck. Thank you. Soundcheck songs on these albums. For why? Another Day. Another Day. Why is not on here? Why?
I think he always has an eye.
But one second though. I mean, it's still, but it sounds 10 times better than Tripping the Live. Fantastic. Go ahead. Sorry about that, buddy.
I think he just, in the same way that we were just talking about why there should be some unreleased Wings stuff on this new Wings compilation. I think he throws this soundcheck stuff in to kind of entice people who might not normally buy the live album. But I don't know. I just bought, just so you know, I just purchased Bruce Springsteen live in Liverpool with McCartney because you can buy from his website. Sounds great. Right. It's so good to have it. I don't know that that's such a bad idea what Springsteen does, where you can literally buy almost any show of his. Now, I wouldn't want to collect Springsteen because I would probably be living in a cardboard box on, Church and Wellesley. But, I think it's a good idea.
What, living in a box on Church and Wellesley?
Yes.
Or collecting Springsteen?
I think call him A, call him B.
Oh, that's... Bitsong says he was at that Silverdome show too. That's great. We were at the same show. That's fantastic. All right, 38 was it?
Yep.
Okay. Listen to this on the way to When did I listen to this last? Recently. I had a fantastic time listening to this, and I did not like this, or I should say, I didn't really care for this the first time I listened to it. I've had a great reevaluation of this, and that's Thrillington. Really enjoyed this. I mean, it could have gone higher, but I'm a huge fan of Thrillington. Yes, we know it wasn't, it's not Paul really. He's not conducting it or anything like that, but again, he produced it. Yeah, that's right. And I think this is a very enjoyable listening experience.
I just want to point out, somebody mentioned in the comments, it goes, Dio, that said you get Biker Like an Icon, and I agree with you. One of my favorite and most underrated Paul McCartney songs. Really.
Fair enough.
I love Thrillington, for the record.
Yeah.
I bought it when it came out. That's how old I am.
Okay. 37. Again, sounds better than Chipping the Line Fantastic, but you start to get a little bit of vocal issues that you do notice in certain places, and that's Good Evening, New York City. I did enjoy this as I was listening to this on the way home from the Chicago Fest. Listen, you got Highway on here, you got Only Mama Knows on here, you got Sing the Changes on here, a good set list in that around that time with Electric Arguments and Memory Was Full songs on here. He was still doing Flaming Pie here, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. It's funny because you got mostly solo stuff on disc 1, and then disc 2 is just it's all Beatles stuff, So, but really enjoyed this one, and he does the something in the same way that he did it on the Concert for George, yeah. So
was that ever put out on vinyl? I don't think so, right?
No. This is one of the few things that hasn't been put out on vinyl. Like Liverpool Sound Collage wasn't on vinyl. Ike Quorum wasn't put on vinyl. So,
but it's funny. I it's hard to find, but I got the one copy that doesn't have the DVD with it, and because most copies you buy have the DVD. I bought the album.
Right.
And someone said to me, "The DVD is great." I went, "What DVD?" I ran back down to Sam the Record Man and picked up the one with the DVD on it. So there you go.
Cool. Yeah, nice. Burley says great set list. Yep. Boy says Good Evening New York City was a bit superfluous. Is that how you pronounce that?
Superfluous.
Superfluous. Okay. Gabby says nice memories from that. My second to fourth Paul shows, but I don't revisit it much either. I have to be in the mood. Yeah. Dino says, New York City had, great CD and DVDs. Yeah, that's what I just showed. It was the CD and DVD set.
And Dino, I'm with you about the Biker Like an Icon.
Yep, there you go. Let's hope for this kind of variety. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. You had Fireman tracks, live, and Flaming Pie tracks. Yep, very good, because he did Calico Skies on that set list as well. So. All right, what are we at? 36, or where am I at? 36. Okay, and it's an album CD I just mentioned, not on a vinyl, but I do really enjoy Ike Core and it's Latin, and I forgot what it means.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, should look it up. Yeah, and this is very enjoyable. I am a huge fan of Paul's classical work. I do highly regard them as something that Paul McCartney fans should experience at least once in their life. I've listened to this a couple times, and I find it to be very enjoyable.
Behold my heart.
Yeah, Behold My Heart. Thank you very much. There's a few boy choir bands on here that sound fantastic, that I really, really enjoy. And you've listened to this one, haven't you?
Several times. I do have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Did you include A Garland for Linda in this list, or no?
No, because that's closer to, I think, just more of a single than a whole album.
It's a compilation, right?
Yeah, it's more of a compilation. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I like the album a lot. As with you, I'm a big fan of his classical music, and I wish that they had done something for any of his classical pieces here in Toronto. I would have gone in a heartbeat, but they've never done that
yeah,
yet. So,
right. All right. So what was that? 36. I'm gonna try to keep track too here. That was
35.
36.
Yep, that was
35.
36.
Okay.
The next one's 35. Yeah.
Next one's
Okay,
35.
I'll
Okay.
keep track. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Tim Allen. Hello, my friend. Thanks for popping in.
Hi, Tim.
Let's get this comment real quick. I thought Macca's Tripping live album was really disappointing. Aberdeen and maybe RMAs were awful versions. I thought Paula's live was superior. Yeah. Okay. So 35. We're going to the second.
No, 34.
Album.
No, 34 now. Yeah.
Oh, we're at 34. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
So 34.
Yeah.
Thank you. Or not Rushes. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and show it right there, US vastly much more enjoyable listening experience than the first one. A lot of stuff here to enjoy. I enjoy every track on here, some better than others. I like the watercolor guitar. The very first track I think is good. A Fluid, which was a single or a 12-inch single back in the UK. I think it was a UK only 12-inch single. And Bison, 7 a.m. I think are good. And you're yawning, so you must not like this one that much. Just kidding. Just teasing. But yeah, 34. I've got Rushes.
Yeah, I think that Rushes is a more of an album than Strawberries. Right. Like it's you can tell the difference between tracks.
Right.
Yeah, I quite, and I liked the promotion he did for it. Didn't he do the fireman thing on YouTube and performed?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
He dressed up, yeah, he did a live thing on YouTube where he dressed up with the raincoat and the hat. You couldn't really see his face, and he played a couple of songs. And the woman who's in the inner sleeve was in the background typing something, and it was very weird.
Was she dressed the same way?
Yes, similarly, yes.
Okay.
Things were positioned to make sure that.
Sure. Okay.
Maybe she was dressed. I don't know. She was there though. So.
That was great. All right, 33. This, my friend, I think would have been a 10 times better record if he did it himself, and that's Unplugged, which is fine. I've always enjoyed Unplugged. But I always felt that there was too many people on stage for this. When I think Unplugged, I think, a guy all alone in a chair with his acoustic guitar, playing his songs in acoustic fashion. And I think this would have benefited from that. Although the band is great, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Okay, I don't want to disrespect anybody. But again, I think this would have been a better record if he did all these songs by himself. But what say you?
First thing first artist to release an Unplugged album.
Yes.
First and only artist to perform completely unplugged with instruments. Yes. There's not one electric instrument, and no other artist ever did that. Everyone else always had electric bass or electric this or electric that. It's an album that brought my wife and I together because she asked. We were working together, and she asked to borrow it from me because she knew I was a Beatle fan. And she knew I was smitten when I said, "Sure, I'll lend you a Paul McCartney CD," because I wasn't lending it to anyone else. It's. I agree, but I think at the time, I think he would do it solo now, if he was doing it.
Yeah.
But then I don't think he felt that he could do that.
Yeah, I hear you. Maybe his confidence at that time wasn't on an all-time high. As
my favorite Unplugged album, though, or none. So. Okay,
fair enough. He does do a fantastic job of every night. I love the Junk on there as well. I think Junk is fantastic.
It's hard to argue that album. And again, when we bought the Japanese CD reissues of the recent ones that just came out, it wasn't included, which I don't understand.
Yeah, same here. That would have been great if Paul had done Unplugged solo, but at least they really did it unplugged. There you
Thank
go.
you.
Prove your point.
Yeah, there is an album that's crying out to be reissued with a DVD or Blu-ray with the performance,
Yes,
concert,
yes,
complete
yes,
concert, the televised version. I mean,
yeah,
it could be a great little box set.
yeah, yep. I reckon Unplugged needed the full band backing. Yeah, maybe. He should do an acoustic solo tour. Oh my God, that would
I'd
be
go.
fantastic. Yes, I really would you?
Everyone.
Because Unplugged was a TV show, the lightly lit stage gave it less atmosphere. Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting. It's an album as an ode to Linda. Rightly, I meant. Okay. All
I agree.
right. See here, Christian says if it was really unplugged, Paul wouldn't have a
Yes,
microphone.
I did say specifically instruments. I did say that. I did say instruments.
Well, the voice is an instrument, isn't it?
I don't know, but thank you. Thank you.
32. And I do want to take the moment, like if you're listening, if you're enjoying this, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys watching this ranking because I'm having a great time doing it. I also want to add that I'm dedicating this show to my uncle Sal, who would have been 46 years old today. He died last November, and he was my Beatles mentor while I was growing up. So I just wanted him to know that I'm thinking of him and wish he was here. So onward. Yeah. Let's see here. Dino V says I got invited to the Unplugged show. Couldn't go, but my mate did. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see here. Moving on. 32. And people are gonna go, how is it this low? Well, because it's my list, and that's it. It's my list, and it's just how I feel. It Pipes of Peace. I've become less and less of a fan of this album as time has gone on. Don't know why. Maybe it's the songs. Maybe it's just lyrics. I don't know. Even though I do do like the the Better Me lyric. I don't care what anybody thinks. It is what it is. But the other me, I'm sorry, I should say, Dustpin Lid. That's never bothered me. But it does have some shining moments. I've always loved the song So Bad on there. And listen, you couldn't get away from Say, Say, Say back in 1983. The song was everywhere. And I do like Pipes of Peace. I really do. I think it's great. But, the man I've never been the biggest fan of, hey, 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 or hey, hey, you've got three fantastic musicians. Okay, Steve Gadd, Stanley Clarke, and Paul McCartney. Is that the best you can do? Was hey, hey, really? Yeah. Tug of Peace, I think, is awful. It's an awful way to include both songs, the Tug of War and Pipes of Peace in a track. Keep Undercover is okay as well, but again, it's just it's my least favorite. I guess if you say what's your least favorite of the regular Macca canon, I think nowadays I'm saying Pipes of Peace.
Well, we'll agree to disagree. It's funny. It's funny because when the album came out, I liked it a lot less than I like it now. This album, for me, anyways, it really grew on me over the years, and now I appreciate it for different reasons. And I love the album, and I know that some people will say it's a weak follow-up to Tug of War, which is a complete work of art. But on its own, Pipes of Peace, and thank you for not making fun of P.S. Love Me Do, because I like that song.
Okay. Well, believe me, if this was songs that were on a single, that would probably be last. Because I think that was on that was on a CD single, wasn't it?
Which one? P.S. Love Me Do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on the live. Is on the live version was on something off of But the studio version is going to get from Japan, right?
Yeah, I think so. I have to go back and look. Yeah. Okay. James Boyce says Pipes of Peace does seem dashed off despite George Martin's production.
Yeah,
Tug of War had care and attention. Yeah. Pipes is the simple McCartney pop album full of pop, uplifting tunes. I love its uplifting feel. Good. I'm happy to hear that. I was saying Rush's was an ode to Linda. I'm behind. That's okay.
That's fine.
Yep.
You're right.
Family members who introduce music to you are always very special. I agree.
Yes, absolutely. So happy birthday to your uncle.
Thank you. Pipes of Peace, Up in Smoke. Okay. See, combine the three Tug of War pipes of and Broadway. Great stuff. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Something. Okay. Nope. DJ says, I like the medley of songs on side 2 of Pipes of Peace. Okay. I do not, but that's okay. We're
I'm with you, DJ. I really am. I'm with you.
Yeah. We're all allowed to have our own opinions. I will say side 1 of Pipes is outstanding. Okay. Lynn says she likes P.S. Love Me Do.
Yeah, wow. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Dino says, I think P.S. Let Me Do is on the birthday 12-inch. Okay. And he says it's awful.
That's, that's fine. I like it.
Okay. Right. The title song is a masterpiece. Love Keep Undercover, Through Our Love, The Man. Okay. All right. 31. And people are going to be like, how can you put this above a regular album? Well, you know what? It's because at this moment in my life, I love this more than I love the last one, and that's Liverpool Oratorio. I think this is fantastic. This is the first classical piece that I did listen to from McCartney. I didn't get it when it came out. I did get it later, but in some weird way, I've always enjoyed classical music, whether it was from Paul or anybody else. Thanks to a movie called The Clockwork Orange, I became a fan of classical music. Beethoven, Mozart, and all the rest. Not all of it's great, but I do love it. This being oratorio, it is kind of weird listening to, that style of music in English. I do kind of prefer, if I'm going to listen to an opera, I kind of do prefer, being a different language, so you're not really knowing what they're saying. But I, we're fortunate to have Alan Kozin on and talk about this way back after, I think, I think David was still my co-host at the time when we had Kozin on, because he was at the premiere. And he told us, he told us a great story about being at the premiere, interviewing McCartney for this. But I think this is a wonderful piece, one of his more accessible classical works. What say you?
Well, it was number 1 on the classical charts for about a year.
Yeah, right.
It's I had the 2 singles, CD and 7-inch. I've been a fan of it since. I'm also a fan of Carl Davis. So to me, it was a beautiful combination. When McCartney collaborates, he collaborates 90% of the time with the best, and Carl's the best. And I think it's a work of art. I still like it. I listen to it periodically. I like the lyrics, the story. I enjoy it.
Cool. 30 is next?
Yep.
Okay, 30. The bathroom, going to the bathroom album. As he's no, Driving Rain. Yeah. You know what I mean now? The Mike Myers scene in the first Austin Powers movie. Anyways, Driving Rain is, again, like Pipes of Peace, is an album that I've been enjoying less and less as I experience the album, and I know it has its fans, and that's great. I am a fan of the album. It's just that don't enjoy it these days as much as I used to. So unfortunately for that, I do love riding into Jaipur. I've always loved the jam. Rinse the Raindrops. If I was ever listening to this album and I was in the car driving while Rinse the Raindrops came on, you better believe by the end of the song I was probably driving 100 miles an hour, just because it's just so energetic. And She's Given Up Talking is a song that not a lot of people like, but I do like it. So it does have its moments, and I know a lot of people like Heather, despite the title of the song. It's a very beautiful melody, and I think it's good, but I just don't. I think it's just unfortunately taken a dip over the decades for me.
I think music is funny because it depends what's going on in your life at the time. My two daughters love this album. They love the song "In the Rain." I love the song "Heather." I think it's one of the most beautiful melodies. I can tell you that "From a Lover to a Friend" is, I think, an exquisite song. I love the album. To this day, I'm confused as to why it did not do well at all, especially because he toured the album.
Right.
But it's a different sounding McCartney. It's a harder sounding, it's a harder edge. It's melodic, but sometimes you have to look for the melodies on that album. And
right.
But Driving Rain's a great song. The ones you mentioned are fantastic. I'm a huge fan. I even like Freedom. Sorry, I know people hate the song, but I again quite liked it. I connected to the concert the first time I ever saw him sing it. So I just, I think it's one of those albums that I think 50 years from now people are going to look back. Same thing with Ram, right? Because when Ram came out, because I was around when Ram came out, I'm 110. When Ram came out, no one had a good thing to say about Ram. Like, it was just the worst piece of garbage on the planet. And then 50 years later, people started going, actually, and I loved Ram since I was 7 years old. So I don't know. I like Driving Rain. I don't understand. I really don't get why it never did as well. But that's, hey, that's what makes horse racing interesting, right? Everyone bets on a different horse. Mine usually lose. Yes, number one.
All right.
I have to say one thing. She's Given Up Talking. I love that song because our youngest daughter, Linda, didn't speak for 3 years. And she'd go to school and not say a word to anybody, but she'd come home. And
yep.
Oh, yeah, like water from a tap. And you're like, she made it for 3 years in like a month. But teachers would go, we're concerned about Linda. She's very quiet. I'm going, my daughter? Because she doesn't stop talking from. Anyways, so it's a true story. Yeah. So I love that song because I was thinking of my daughter Linda when I hear it.
That's great. I love it. And I'm seeing quite a bit of love in the comments. I'm not going to highlight everything, I know, because we're an hour and a half in, and I want to keep this going. Again, I don't want to be here. I've got things to do later tonight, or today, I should say. All right, 29. That's where I'm placing Run Devil Run. Again, I do like the songs he picked for Russian album better, but there's some fantastic Blue Jean Pop right off the bat. I think is one of the best covers he's ever done, in my opinion. 10 times sounding better record. No Other Baby. Obviously, the tribute to Linda. The songs that he wrote, a couple of songs that he wrote are on here that are okay. But Brown Eyed Handsome Man, very strange video. But All Shook Up's not bad. She said yeah. Movie Mag. What do you think?
The video for No Other Baby is heartbreaking.
Yes.
But you said the songs he wrote aren't bad. Run Devil Run, I think, is one of his finest. And it's weird because I remember the first time I heard it, I could have sworn that's Linda singing background on that song.
Really?
Because it's like Linda. Yeah. Listen to it again, you go, oh my goodness, that sounds like Linda's doing the run. Well, I Try Not to Cry. Or what's it called?
Try Not to Cry. And I was just gonna say, I these days I tend to prefer Try Not to Cry a little bit more over the title track.
Oh, I always did, but I like Run, and I love the cover. I I love the little box, the red box with the 45s.
Yep.
Really packaging. So
There you
let's
go.
say I like it more than the Russian album, but I love it.
Right.
So there you go. I just ranked. There you go for everyone. I just ranked 2
Go!
albums.
He
Here
did
we
it!
go.
He did it! We're going to get you a ranking show one of these days, my friend. Okay, 28. And this is the album that I would recommend to anybody if they are curious about Paul's classical work. This is the first thing I would recommend you, and that's working classical. Okay, and why would I recommend this to you? Because there's a lot of recognizable songs on here, such as Maybe I'm Amazed, Calico Skies, Golden Earth Girl, Sundays. This is Where a Leaf Is. And so this is kind of like a compilation too, in a way. However, it's almost kind of like a compilation of his classical work. But this is very enjoyable. So I would definitely recommend Working Classical as the first piece of your Paul classical journey, if you will. So take that for what it's worth. But my 28 is Working Classical.
Agreed. I think it's a great album. I would recommend it too, and I love the songs you mentioned. And doesn't he do Warm and Beautiful or
Warm and Beautiful is on here? My Love is on here. Lovely Linda, she's my baby.
I think Elite is a fun classical piece.
Right. And if you've ever seen his animated short film Tuesday, I mean, that's where you'll find the piece Tuesday is on here as well. So it's good for that. Yeah. 27. That is where I am putting a live album, which I did enjoy while driving to the fest as well. And I'm putting both versions in there, back in the US, back in the world, because they're so similar, but there are differences, in the two. One has every night. No, both of them every night. So sorry, but you guys know the differences. Yeah, you guys know the differences between these two. But again, there's some good stuff on here. I think he's still in fine singing form on this tour, which obviously it's the tour that he came back to do. So good stuff. What do you think?
Great covers too. I love that album. It's a great live album. And that wasn't on vinyl either.
No, that's correct. This is not on vinyl as well. That is right.
Maybe you could do a box set of his previously not released on vinyl.
There you go. I like that. That's nice. All right, 26 as we're moving ever so slowly to number 1. And I know our friend Broadstreet is not here at the moment, but I don't know if he'd be too happy to know that at number 26, I have Give My Regards to Broadstreet. Now, again, this does not take away from the wonderful No More Lonely Nights and all 50 versions that are on the album. It just has to do with the fact that as I've gotten older and have done, a McCartney podcast for 9 years and doing shows on Broadstreet, I've come to not really appreciate his covers of Beatles songs, to be honest with you. I am not a fan of the Long and Winding Road that he does on this album. This album, as high as it is because of the strength of No More Lonely Nights, No Values, and Not Such a Bad Boy, as well. And there you go. Ollie says, Ollie might have said it best here. Broadstreet, a great EP. Yeah, maybe. But
see,
go ahead.
Eleanor's Dream, Goodnight Princess. These were the precursors to him doing something very different.
True.
I think Not Such a Bad Boy, No Values are two of my very, very favorite McCartney songs of all time. I put those on all the time. Like I don't think a week goes by when I don't listen to those two songs. They put a smile on it, and while I'm at it, may I go to my psychiatrist making money out of making me laugh. Great stuff. Love that.
Right.
Great.
No, yeah. And I think those two tracks are underrated tracks too, because what did Paul not really do a lot in the 80s on his albums? That's rock. Ballroom
Dancing is better on that than Tug of War. I think. I mean,
a lot of people think that Wanderlust ballroom dancing. Well, because you got the extra, yeah, that's it. Wave the sword or whatever he's saying in the song, because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing in the scene, So and I loathe what he did to Silly Love Songs, as well.
Love that.
It's fine. That's fine. Again, this is my list.
I love the movie too. So there you go.
Yes. All right. So maybe this is your 126 or whatever.
I don't know. So I liked. Let me clarify why I like Silly Love Songs, because it was a complete 180 from the original.
Yeah.
So I just admire when people can take a song like that, and I mean, plus it's got members of Toto.
Yeah.
Enough said. I mean, I could do without the breakdancing in the video, but other than that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 26, Broad Street. Sorry, Ed. I hope we can still be friends.
Oh, that's Rundgren, isn't it? Utopia?
Yeah, sure. All right, 25. When people are going to say, how can you put this in front of a Paul Cannon album? It's just because it's my list. I love Standing Stone. Right now in my life, I love this album more than I like Broad Street. Sorry. But this is a beautiful listening experience. Again, we were able to have, we had Alan Cozen on to talk about this as well. I think there's some fantastic moments on here. Some avant-garde moments, I think, are in here. Some of the choir, in here is beautiful. I think this is just a wonderful sounding classical piece from Paul. And I guess it's my favorite, since this is the highest I have a classical work from Paul. So
I love when he goes into Some Days.
Yeah.
Briefly. That's beautiful. I love this album. I agree with you. I'm glad you picked up on the avant-garde stuff, because it's really an interesting album from beginning to end.
It is. Yeah, it very is.
Quite like it.
Yeah. All right. So that was 25. As we move along, 24. Okay. Now, if we were doing the double album version of this, it would probably be much higher. But because we're sticking to the original album, we're going with Off the Ground for 24. Okay. Has never been one of my favorites in McCartney's catalog. However, unlike Driving Rain, this one I've kind of appreciated more over the years. Okay. I'd never been the biggest fan of Hope of Deliverance, but I think it's a beautiful, beautiful song in McCartney's canon. I've never been the biggest fan of Get Out of My Way. I just think that was just like a light, cheap rocker, but I appreciate that one a lot more. Now, that being said, the stuff that I love on here, I love, like, Golden Earth Girl, Wine Dark Open Sea, I Owe It All to You. I adore those three ballads on this album. I hold them in high regards. So that's why this album is as high as it is. That being said, people have the right to sing whatever they want about, but I just don't like when my favorite singers want to sing about stuff that I really, I'm glad that he's a member of PETA, and I don't want cruelty to animals. I just don't care when my favorite artist sings about those kind of things. You know what I mean? That being said, I know this album has its fans, and I think that's fantastic. But for me, I got it at 24.
You didn't mention Come On People, which I love.
See, I think that's a cheap Hey Jude, in my opinion.
No, but you know what? I'm going to compare. I'm going to compare. For some people, think that Off the Ground is his Pipes of Peace to Flowers in the Dirt, because Flowers in the Dirt was such an incredible album that I think that he couldn't. I think anything he did as a follow-up would seem pale. I like Off the Ground. I like the song Off the Ground. I think it's one of his.
I do too. I like Come On People. You call it a cheap Hey Jude, maybe, but it's a lovely video and a lovely song. I put that album on quite a bit, actually. Yeah. And the video is fun. I mean, we just did a show on the Moving On documentary from around this time, and they have they have what was his name from 10cc? He directed it.
Bobby Crumb, yeah.
Yeah. And he talks about it, and they explained the video, which was a video that I never really cared for that much. But after listening to him talk about it, I've come to appreciate it a little bit more. So, but
I love Biker Like an Icon. To me, that's like, that's like Jet. I hear that when I put that on the CD and I'm driving, windows down, I'm going to see if I can hit 150 kilometers and just go.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it. There was a girl, I like his singing on that song too. Where are we at? 23. Okay, we're getting there. All right. When the full version of this came out, it's instantly kind of like almost rose to the top of the live stuff for me, and that's Amoeba Gig. I think this is one of his best sounding live albums. I think the great soundtrack again. Going to Only Mama Knows. Like Calico Sky. Anytime I hear House of Wax and do House of Wax, I love it. And I mean, it's not the most creative set list in his live albums, but this is just such a great sounding live album, in my opinion. Great enjoyable listening experience on this.
I thought the new Japanese CD sounded phenomenal.
Right.
I have a question. I don't know if you can answer this, but is that the entire concert?
My understanding was supposed to be the entire concert.
It could be. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Right.
I hope it is, because and it's fun that it's in a record store. I love Amoeba Records, by the way. Anyone who's in LA, every time I visit my daughter there, I go to Amoeba and spend far too much money. But it's and then Ringo did his thing there when he released a single from the.
That's right.
That's cool.
That's great. Cool. James is here. Hello. Yeah, my cousin is saying 2019 version is the full set list. Yes.
I assumed as much, but I just wanted to, sometimes you never know, right? Like there's this live album coming out of John and Yoko.
Right.
That's not complete.
It's not complete. That's right.
It's not complete.
Gabby says, I think this may be my favorite live album of his, not counting Wings. I agree, it's his best sounding. Yeah.
Gabby, we're on the same page here. We're all friends.
Yes. Is there a film of Amoeba? I do not know.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I mean, I've seen pictures of him in there. I mean, I think there is like one or two songs that maybe were recorded live, but I don't know. If anybody has seen something, let us know in the comment section.
Yes.
All right, 24. Okay.
No, 22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. 22. Let me double check here.
Unless I'm completely off base, I've been keeping track.
Yeah, 22. Yeah, 22. Sorry about that. Okay,
no.
22.
Hey.
All right. Great job. You're doing great. You're doing great. 22. Okay. Like half of it. Well, let's just say like most of it. Like 2/3 of it. 1/3, not so much. Not so much. Press the play. Okay. If you want to include the bonus tracks on here, it makes it a 10 times better album, but you can't because those bonus tracks were just on the CD, and I don't think they were intended for the vinyl because they weren't on the vinyl, whether they would have fit or not. But I'm glad we have those bonus tracks on the CD. And you just didn't have to get them on the 7-inch, the 12-inch, the 14-inch, all the different inches of vinyl that you can, the 10-inch, right, that you can get then. But Press to Play, most of it is enjoyable. I do like Stranglehold. I love Good Times Coming In. I love the story. We had Jerry Murata on the show a few years back, and he told fantastic stories of recording this album. So Footprints is a track that I've always loved. Press, I think, is fantastic. I think, again, how many times do we say it's Paul, Paul's, pop perfection. But yeah, Angry, again, here's a great trio, right? You got Paul, you got Pete Townsend, you got Phil Collins, and you're like, that's the song you do? whether if you want to believe his story about it or not, I just don't think it's a good track. I think they could have done better. But 22.
Well,
Pipes or press to play.
Pretty Little Head,
Yes.
the album version, the 12-inch are brilliant to me. I think, however absurd, is one of its finest lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a great song. Press to Play is an album near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
I will say one thing very quickly, that my wife's cousin's husband, Stan Harrison, played saxophone in the video of Stranglehold.
Okay. Yeah.
And he met McCartney then. He didn't. Then he sees McCartney 30 years later when he's playing with Little Steven, and Paul said, "Hey Stan, how you doing?" Like the fact that he remembered Stan after all those years was pretty cool. But I quite love the album, and I love the cover. I got a framed poster of it on my wall. I love the, excuse me for a minute.
Okay. You all right there, buddy?
I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. 21.
21 with a voice. You should be doing a Casey Kasem voice.
Yes. Yes.
Where's your Casey Kasem voice?
We got to get a letter. We got to get a letter. We got to get the weekly letter. This letter comes from so and so.
Because of a dead dog.
Too good, my friend. Too good. All right. Again, an album that when the archive release came out, I fell in love with this album. Since then, I've kind of fallen out of love with this album. That's Flowers in the Dirt. I still like it. I still like it a lot. Okay, I don't love it as much as others, but I do really like Flowers in the Dirt. However, if you're looking at the CD version, I think the last 3 tracks are terrible. Motor of Love just goes on way too long. I get this. He wanted it to make it. He wanted the song to feel like the song "Drive" from the Cars. But I just don't think it's a good song in general. Ulas Au Soleil, never really enjoyed that track. How Many People, again, is something I don't enjoy. That Day Is Done is good, but I think it's by this time I think the album is kind of like slowly falling on its face. But I think it starts off strong with My Brave Face. Again, I think pop perfection from Paul. And I really wish that we would have been able to hear what a Elvis Costello Paul McCartney record would have sounded like if they could have agreed on production and how to go forward with this album after they'd written so many great songs together. So 21 for Flowers in the Dirt.
Figure of 8, put it there. This one, Don't Be Careless, Love. Yeah. That Day Is Done. Absolute classics. And just so everyone knows, We Got Married was our second song played at our wedding because
excellent.
Great song. I really,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it, my friend. We've all got moments in our lives where these songs have touched us in one way or another.
And I do like Uela. I like Uela so much. I do. It's just a stupid song. Great video. Yeah. The video makes me laugh every time I watch it. Right. But it's just one of those things that McCartney does. He just probably did in his sleep.
I enjoy Party a little bit more.
I love Party.
Yeah.
Especially the ending. Like the ending is great. Right. I agree.
Yeah. 20. Okay, back to the Wings era. And Wings at the Speed of Sound. Probably the heights of their popularity. Probably contains, in my opinion, Paul's most important single of the 70s. Probably one of the most popular tours of that year, 1976. And, a fantastic sounding record on here. I think you can't discount McCartney as a producer. I think he's a fantastic producer. And this is the one true Wings album where you have a vocal from every member of the band. However, that is not why I'm buying any album that McCartney is part of, during the soul years. I love Jimmy. I think he's fantastic. I think Joe English is a fantastic drummer, especially on the live album, which we'll get to in a few minutes.
Silly Love Songs.
But
His drumming Silly Love Songs is fantastic.
Fantastic. And that's not to
Beware,
take away
beware
from the
my
other
love.
drummers.
Beware my love.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I don't want to take anything away from the other drummers in the Wings history. But listen, I mean, when you're listening to this album, Beware My Love, She's My Baby. I love Sanfarian too, The only thing is like, I just don't want vocals from the other artists, unfortunately. That's just me. That's just me. I am not a fan of Cook of the House at all. Even though I am a chef, but I just don't. Maybe
that's why. Maybe
that is why, my friend.
But I think
actually, we screwed up. We're at 21, right? Or 20.
Now it's 20. So now you're at 19.
We screwed up because at 25 we had Twin Freaks.
You didn't mention it. I mean,
I know, and I knew this was going to happen because it's not on CD, so I can't put it in the stack with the CD.
Oh, that's why you. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't have. That's why I.
So that'll be number 25. So the next one you do would be number 18. Okay.
Something like that. Okay.
No,
but anyways,
that works.
Yeah,
works.
Yeah, but anyways, this is why going back, Twin Freaks, probably my first or second favorite of the experimental stuff. Love this stuff. Not available on CD. In promotional sense, yes, but it doesn't have this cover. It's just like a white cover with the titles of the tracks on it. So there's that. Twin Freaks was at 25. Okay, so apologize about that. I knew it was going to happen because I don't have the list right here. But
well, I was going to remind you, but I thought I don't know. I just thought you were going to say, okay, never mind. Okay, so now you're at 18, my friend. You're at 18.
19, actually.
No, it should be.
That's
18.
what I just counted. Either way, okay. Anyways, right. It doesn't matter. Wings Over America.
Number 19. Okay.
Yeah. Just I know that artists go back and they freshen up the live stuff, and I don't think that's a secret. Hopefully that's not a secret anymore. Hopefully people know that all these great live albums, they go back and sweeten it up in the studio. But I after listening to this again recently, I've always been the person that prefers the studio over the live stuff. Okay, but in this case, I don't know. I mean, I think there's an argument for this sounding better than some of the studio stuff. Especially the Wings at the Speed of Sounds album, and maybe even Venus and Mars a little bit, but.
Well, fantastic. I like the opening medley is fantastic, right?
Yes.
Venus and Mars, Jet, and Rock Show. I mean, it's a great Venus, Mars, Rock Show, and Jet. And I also think the Richard Corey is brilliant.
Of course, but either way, it's this is one of the most enjoyable listening experiences to anything Paul, and maybe it should be higher, okay? But again, I do prefer the studio stuff over live stuff.
Well, yeah, but that's a good live album, and
it's fantastic live album. Yeah,
and it was revolutionary when it came out because it was a triple live album, double, and it made number one. It was a big album.
Triple live album that went to number one. Followed suit with. Bangladesh was a triple album too, as well. I think, and it went to number one.
But yeah, and I mean, there's only three. There's Woodstock, Bangladesh, and that triple album number one. I mean, that's you're in good company.
I'd say so. All right, next up,
18.
Are you sure? All right. Anyways, okay. We're just don't forget. Doesn't matter, and the numbers don't matter anymore.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Numbers. Okay. McCartney 3.
Well, much better than I thought you'd play. So I was waiting for this album. I was surprised.
Yeah, yeah. On the strength of a few songs, you know, "Find My Way," which should have been a single, in my opinion, over "Women and Wives." Um, prefer "Find My Way" over "Women and Wives" every day of the year. I think that would have been a much better track to do live over "Women and Wives." Myself, as we know, he dropped the song. He only did it like 2 or 3 times during that 22 tour, and then he downgraded it to the sound check. You know, when winter comes, oh my God, you know, never heard that song before. I don't know if anybody heard that song before. And then, you know, put it at the end. Deep down, um, interesting. But deep deep feeling, you know, it's the song I think that everybody was like, what the hell is this?
I
And then
love
as they
deep.
give it, and as they give it, as people gave deep deep feeling more and more time, you know, to flourish. Um, I think people realize it's a brilliant track, and you know, and I love it. You know,
I
so
agree, but and I think also the fact it came out during the lockdown
yeah,
means a lot.
yeah.
Like it was a dark time,
Oh
and
yeah,
it was a beautiful thing to also hear new McCartney. And I don't
yes,
know, it. I mean, I still prefer Egypt Station. They're ranked 2 now. You happy? Um,
yes.
well, I'm glad you're happy. But I love McCartney 3. I do. I think it's great.
Yeah, good. Ali says, I still don't have the time for deep, deep feeling. Okay, well, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Okay. All right. After that, you're going to laugh at these next two or whatever, but it's just the way I put it. Okay. McCartney 2
17.
is
Yeah.
next. Is next. You know, I've always heard people, you know, it went to number 2 in the UK. I think it was, no, I'm sorry, 1 in the UK, and I think it went to number 2 or 3 here in the States. You know, people kind of like poo poo on this album. First time I heard this, I didn't understand why. I liked it from the get go. You know, one of these days has become one of my, you know, most favorite personal songs from Paul. I've come to really adore one of these days. Coming up again, I prefer the studio version over live. Right from the bat, from the get go, I have always loved Temporary Secretary. I know that opening, I know that annoys a lot of people, but I loved it. On the Way, I thought was always a great tribute to BB King. And it was so cool that BB King did that track on the Art of McCartney album. Um, I like Darkroom. I like the silly stuff. I like bogey music. I like Darkroom. You know, I really enjoy this album a lot.
I don't think I can explain. Like when that came out in 1980, it was the most unexpected thing to come out of McCartney, coming
Right,
after Back to the Egg, which apparently he doesn't like. But
right.
it just kind of it was such a bizarre album, and it got played a lot. I remember Bogey Music here in Toronto got played on the radio. I mean, we also a fan of the original book by Raymond Briggs.
Mm-hmm.
I love the B sides. I love Check My Machine,
Check
and I
My
love
Machine.
Secret Friend is absolutely brilliant in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I love everything that, and I loved when he put out the double CD because I was ever so happy, or the box set actually. But great
Right.
stuff, great
Do
stuff.
you have the Temporary Secretary 10-inch or 12-inch or whatever it is? Yeah, cool.
Both of them, both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Summer
Yeah,
Day
yeah.
Song means a lot to me, and it's yeah. I love the album. I take it for lunch on a regular basis.
Yeah. McCartney 2, Dino says McCartney 2 should have been a double album. I'll tell you what,
I
because of
agree.
what he did with Red Rose Speedway, okay, he presented it like a bootleg on vinyl during the Red Rose Speedway archive set came out. I'm hoping he does this for McCartney too, because this was a proposed double album, okay, and then you can recreate the double album on the archive set. So I'm hoping come 2030 that maybe, you know, when he does that half speed master for McCartney 2, maybe he does the proposed double album as well. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Next up.
16. We're 16.
Next up, and it's just funny how this went. It's because I had it in a different way, but I have my complaints about this album, but I adore it at the same time. Okay, one in a way you're like, well, this is just half-assed type, unfinished songs, but then you spend so much time with these, and different times in your life they have different meanings to you. But for me, I mean, I gotta say, I gotta put McCartney right up there with. I don't think it was one of his great masterpieces or anything like that, but I do think it's great work. I do think it's a fantastic opening album for his solo career. It just says so much about where he was at this point in time in his life. That's I think you really got to keep that in mind while you're listening to this album. Okay.
I think it's a great album. I mean, I got it back in 1970. I remember buying Sentimental Journey, I think first, Let It Be, and then McCartney. And of the three, I listened to McCartney way more as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I was a look at. Maybe I'm amazed. I mean, it's.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm amazed, of course.
Junk, Karina Kaur. I mean, I
Sing
love
along.
the album.
Sing along, Junk might even be better than Junk.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I mean, my mother preferred Sentimental Journey because there were songs that she knew from her childhood. But she played that a lot, and we all loved Let It Be and had a good cry when we saw the movie. And then I love McCartney. Music is funny where you have memories, and I've been living with that album for 51 years, so it's kind of in here, It's part of my DNA now. Actually, they drew some blood the other day, and they said, "You know, you have McCartney in your blood." Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yep, I do. Bit Song just announced that the Blu-ray of the Wings comp is sold out.
I'm not surprised. Those things sell out fast. I'm glad I got in there before.
And it looks like I lost my chance unless they put it on Amazon.
They'll put it up again. They'll do another batch.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, moving on. We got to get going. All right, where am I at?
15.
Yes, 15. Okay, Wildlife. Adore it. Again, another album that I had my issues with. And I had my issues with it, and I loved it at the same time. If that makes any sense, I love this album, but part of me, I'm like, why do this with a new band? Why do that? Just go in and record real quick and then come back out. Why do that with a brand new band? Just because Dylan did it, you're not Dylan, okay? You got a new band, So I've had my problems with the making of this album, but at the same time, I adore it. Again, with so many people telling me while growing up, you don't have to worry about that album. You don't need to listen to this album. Get this one, this one, this one. No, this album is beautiful. I love this. I love, Some People Never Know, one of my favorite songs, period, from Paul McCartney. I just love Paul and Linda's voice together, and then you add Denny to it, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Tomorrow, the single that never was. I love the I Am Your Singer, the duet between Paul and Linda. I think is great. Wildlife is fun. Okay, say what you wanted to about Bip Bop and the other one. Why am I Mumbo? Say what you want about those two tracks. I know sometimes a lot of people poop on those two songs as well, but I think this is a fantastic record.
I'll say two things. One is I think it's a very honest record. I think it's just a snapshot of time. And the second thing I'm going to say is, take it, Tony.
Very good. Very good. Okay, where we at? 14, was it?
Yep.
Okay, 14. I I didn't include this album until this morning. Okay, and it's one hand clapping because if I didn't include it, someone probably would have said, "Why didn't you include one hand clapping?"
I
So
wouldn't have been
no, okay.
no.
But anyways, I thought it was important to add it to the set because I think this was a fantastic, again, another fantastic enjoyable listening experience. I love that we were able to go to the theater and watch the film, as bad as it looked, but it was still a great experience. The track selection on here is fantastic. I know we only got part of the backyard tapes on the 7-inch single that came with the LP set, but Soily on here is really good. Although I still love the Wings Over America version. You got Tomorrow. You got Tomorrow. You got Power Cut. You got a medley of Let It Be, Long and Winding Road, and Lady Madonna on here. You've got a great rendition of Live and Let Die. Let's Love. If you listen to this whole thing, which I was able to do, he goes back to Let's Love constantly throughout this whole thing. He goes back to Let's Love. Maybe just because he had just written it and he was giving it to what's her name? I completely forgot.
Peggy Lee.
Peggy Lee. Thank you. So this is fantastic. I think one hand clapping. Jeff Britton gets his due finally, and I love it.
I concur. I think it's great, and I'm a big fan. So everything you said, I echo. Yep. Plus, I like Babyface.
Babyface, yeah. All right, we're getting to the nitty gritty. 14, 13? 13. All right, 13. Walking down the street or pavement or whatever. London Town. A lot of times I enjoy this album, sometimes it's hard to know what, this album is all over the place. Is it a folksy album? Is it a synth album? Is it just a crazy, more smooth than the Grey Goose kind of album? But it's all over the place, and I like it for that reason, that it's all over the place. A little too much. I've never been the biggest fan of Children on here, but Denny makes it up for deliver your children. Denny was thinking about his children a lot back then, I guess. If people ask me if you're going to listen to With a Little Luck, what version are you listening to? The long version, every single day. I love that little synth break in the middle or towards the end, wherever you want to put it. I think the long version of With a Little Luck is fantastic. I even like some of the tracks that people don't really care for a lot. I've always enjoyed Famous Groupies. Girlfriend, which he gave to Michael Jackson. I think he is fine on here. Cafe on the Left Bank is fantastic. You got some really great guitar playing from Jimmy on Cafe on the Left Bank. But yeah, I really enjoy. Name and Address hasn't always set well with me. But other than that, I really like it.
Now, I know they're not on the album, and they shouldn't have been. I think they should be a standalone single, but I do like Girls' School and Mull Up Tire as well.
Yeah.
I think they were kind of like his paperback writer, Rain to Revolver.
Yeah.
That was, and London Town, to me, I'm going to say this, and I don't hate me, it's kind of his Rubber Soul. I think it was an album of transition. It was an album where it was trying different things, some folky stuff. I'm now and always, I have and always will be a fan of the album. Paul, if you're listening, box set. All right, number 12. Number 12.
Yes. However, listen, if Girls' School was on this album, it would have gave it, some balls, which I think this album was lacking.
I don't think it would have fit, though. I think he was wise not to put that single on, but that's just my opinion.
Does More Smooth Than the Grey Goose fit?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Well, once you get into that folky part of the track.
Well, it is. It's like a sea shanty, isn't it? It.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
I think it does fit, and it's a good way to end the album.
13, right?
No, number 12.
Number 12. Okay. Red Rose Speedway. This album for me is I've always explained it as it's got one of the best A sides or best sides of McCartney. Period. Side A on this album is a masterpiece. One of the best sides of music he ever put out, in my opinion. Big Barn Bed, My Love, Little Lamb Dragonfly, Get on the Right Thing, One More Kiss. I think it's one of the most perfect sides of music that he's ever put out on vinyl. And I'll take that to my grave. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the medley, and my people that know me know that I am not the biggest fan of it. I'm not going to skip it. I can try to appreciate it more, but at the time of this recording, it's still not a favorite as in the medley. But I'm sure you love the medley.
I do. I again, it's one of those things. I think it works better as a double album, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, true.
I think it's very. I'm going to say this: "Little Lamb Dragonfly" is one of the best songs ever written, not just by Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
It's a top 10 favorite songs of all time. I think it rivals the best of the Beatles. I think it's just one of those songs that is perfect from beginning to end. So, okay, that's how the.
All right.
I just killed any book sales, but whatever.
No. All right, 11 was it? 12? Sorry.
Yep. No,
11? Okay.
I'm trying to keep track. You're at 11 now.
All right, 11. That's where I put the third Fireman album, Electric Arguments.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of high points on it. I love Sing the Changes. I love Sun is Shining. Those two might be my favorite songs on the album. I like Two Magpies. One of my unsung favorite tracks on here is a song called Universal Here, Everlasting Now, which is a track that I absolutely adore. Highway is a lot of fun. We talked about that from the was it Good Evening New York City live album. So yeah, I think this has a lot of highlights on it, and it's the most Paul album of all the three of the Fireman albums. And
two songs you didn't mention: Dance Till We're High, which I love,
right,
and I think one of the greatest opening tracks of an album. Nothing Too Much, Just Out of Sight.
Nothing Too Much, which also got a single from what was the other band that put it out as a single? They were on Liverpool Sound Collage.
Super Furry Animals.
That's it. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're tempting me here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now where are we? Top 10?
Top 10, man.
Top 10.
My calculations could be wrong, but I think we're in the top 10.
Yes, I think we're in the top 10. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. Top 10. All right. Top 10. Number 10. We're going with New. An album that I love. I like to love all but one track, and I have never been the biggest fan of Hosanna. It's probably my least favorite. And then On My Way to Work are probably my least two favorite tracks on here. But the tracks that I love are super high up. I think Alligator is fantastic. Early Days is brilliant. Queenie Eye, I adore. The track New, I think, is fantastic. Everybody out there, Save Us, I Can Bet, are three great little rockers. And then you got the bonus stuff as well. But yeah, New has always been from the first moment that I listened to it, enjoyed it right off the bat, except for a few here and there. So
I have to disagree with On My Way to Work, because I think it's some of the words he fits into that song. Thumbs up. You didn't a song I really love on the album is Appreciate. But I mean, I love the album. I think it's a strong album, and an album that, in my humble opinion, sounds better vinyl than it does on CD. So this has a vinyl with a nice sound to it. That I don't care. I'll put it on anyway. I got the cassette too. I mean, it's great.
So yeah. Well, there you go. Gabby, agrees with you on Appreciate, and then James agrees with you on My Way to Work. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
My high five, James and Gabby.
And then our other James says another member of the James gang is here as well. Ali says appreciate is very 2013 sounding. Well,
Maybe.
what is 2013 sounding? I mean, do other songs sound like that?
I don't think it's a very commercial song. I don't think it's
right.
You wouldn't listen and go, well, that's a top 10 hit for Boyz II Men.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Or whoever was popular. I know they were before that, but
right. Yeah. Number 9.
Number 9. Yeah.
Number 9.
Love it. Love it.
Egypt Station, I still think is a fantastic record. So many great, pop and personal and out of left field tracks on here. Hand in Hand, Who Cares, Dominoes, I think might be the best song on here. I love Back in Brazil. I think Back in Brazil is fantastic.
You know what? I just stumbled on the video for that. I didn't know there was a video.
I just there was a video for it. Yeah.
Great video. Great. It's great.
Yes.
And I never knew.
Yes. And I am in the minority. I know this, but I think For You is one of his best live songs that he's done in my opinion, the last 10 years. I think it's a fantastic track on the album, and I think it worked very well as a live track. And I get the, I just want to, fuck you, and I get the, you make me want to go out and steal line, you make me want to do this, you make me want to do that. I totally get that, what he's trying to say there. But so I really like For You. I know I'm in the minority on that one.
I'm going to say a couple of things about the album. Is that for me the only problem with Egypt Station is it's not an album I can pick a track from. I always play the whole album straight through. I really like, despite repeated warnings. Do It Now means so much to me that it brings tears to my eyes. I love that song. So yeah, great album.
Cool. Excellent. Number 8. Okay, and I know what everybody's going to say when I show this album. Where's the box set? Okay, we know. But Back to the Egg, which hasn't been, reissued, unfortunately, since, 1993, just like London Town and Press to Play and Broad Street, right? So Back to the Egg. I mean, what can you say about this album? I mean, again, I love the different directions that it goes. I mean, I love the rockers on here. I also, love some of the rockers that people don't like. I like, for example, for To You. I mean, I don't think that's a song that gets enough love. Winter Rose, Love Awake, I think it's one of the more beautiful things that Paul has ever done. I'm not the biggest Rockestra fan. Again, I think this is, a lame attempt for, an anthem or just like a rock number. You get all these brilliant musicians, and I don't know. Anyways, I love Old Siam Sir. I think is a great track too. That's a song that I've come to appreciate more and more over the years. Obviously, you got Getting Closer, Spin It On. I think are two fantastic rockers as well. So, I mean, even though I've always liked this album for me over time has risen in stature. And I'm sure this is one that you've always enjoyed as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, Winter Rose, Love Awake. I love the broadcast. I love the broadcast. So glad to see you here. There's not for my money, Arrow Through Me should have been. To this day, I don't know why it wasn't the most we hit. It should have been a top 10 single. I don't know.
Agreed. On both sides of the pond.
Oh yeah, it's such a great song. Getting Closer. I even think Reception is one of the best things. What did you first see? Great opening an album. Mm-hmm. So Reception right into Getting Closer. The sound effects between it. Great album. Brilliant. 5 stars. 10 stars. 12. 35 stars.
100 stars. Screw it. Let's go to triple stars. Yeah. Fantastic.
Number 7.
All right. Number 7. Here's an album that I thought was going to be a little lower on the list, but listening to it a lot this year because of the Half Speedmaster, we're going Venus and Mars, which I think is one of Paul's best sounding albums. In his in the 70s. I think this is fantastic album. It starts off wonderfully with the Venus and Mars rock show. Again, it's just highlighted more in the live album, but I think it's really cool here because you got the extra bits. You know what I mean? Put that wig on straight. Can't be late. We got a date. I think that's awesome.
Remember, I sent those tickets to the rock show? Well, I bought them.
Yeah, there you go. I listened. I loved, Treat Her Gently, or I should say, I love listen to what the man said and goes into Treat Her Gently. I think that's done beautifully in the studio. I like how that's mixed together. I do like Medicine Jar, and I do like Spirits of Ancient Egypt. However, I just like them a little bit better on the live album, but they're good here. But I mean, this album on the strength of listen what the man said. Magneto and Titanium Man has always been a highlight for me. But this is I think this is a fantastic album.
Well, you didn't mention the other mystery, Letting Go, should have been a hit.
Yeah,
great song.
Yeah,
great. The 45 remix is brilliant with the organ. I'll take this album over Band on the Run 9 times out of 10. I mean, they're both number 1, but I tend to listen to this album more than I listen to Band on the Run.
Yeah, same here. But I'll explain why. I'll explain about that in a few minutes. But to go back to Letting Go, I would have loved to have seen if Call Me Back Again would have done a little bit better chart-wise than Letting Go. I think Call Me Back Again, I just feel it's maybe a little bit more commercial, especially with the horns in there. But even though Letting Go has the horns too, I think Call Me Back Again is just a little bit more, maybe just a little bit more commercial. All right.
Number 6.
Okay. There's only one problem with this album, and that's just the loudness. When you put it in, you could have this album on number 1, but it would sound like it's on 11, because it's just so damn loud. But apparently they wanted to mix it that way, so whatever. And that's the only problem I have with this album. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Dance Tonight. I think Dance Tonight is just a silly little tapper. But I love the so-called first medley since Abbey Road, as he said during the promotion for this for this album. He completely forgot about the one on Red Rose Speedway. But Vintage Clothes, that was me. House of Wax, The End of the End. My God, The End of the End. I love Ever Present Past. See Your Son, Only Mama Knows. Maybe the only track that I really don't like is You Tell Me. Maybe I think Mr. Bellamy is fantastic. It's just a great record. I love this record.
Yes, I concur. I love, from the very first time, the first single, Ever Present Past, I just thought this is going to be special, and it was, and I love it. I like Dance Tonight. Only Mama Knows is another one of those chorus songs that, boy, does it sound good cranked. Gratitude, I love it. That was me, and I agree with you. The End of the End is his Hurt,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. All right, top 5. I could have moved this around with Venus and Mars, because just the way, like you said, I could listen to this Venus and Mars 9 times out of 10 over Band on the Run. But at the end of the day, you can't deny, what this did for his career.
No, of course not.
We can all say that we got Band on the Run fatigue, but we don't enjoy it any less when we're seeing him play it live. We enjoy him doing Jet live. We enjoy him doing, I am tired of him doing Let Me Roll It. I'll just come out and say it, but it's a great track. It's a fantastic track. Band on the Run, the song itself, again, I think is a masterpiece as well. How he's able to take bits and pieces of song and then merge them all together, like he's done so many times. No Words, I think is a brilliant little piece that doesn't get talked about enough. He's played every song. Is this the only album, if not including US, but the UK version of this song? Of this album. He's well, maybe not Pneumonia, but he's played every track except for 2 live on this, on this album. So it's brilliant. It really is. However, I'm looking at it as, because I do enjoy this album, although I am fatigued about it. But again, you just can't deny, again, what this did for his career, how important it is to him, the fact that he's still playing, 3 to 4 songs on every tour from this album. It is a brilliant record.
The thing about Band on the Run, quite frankly, is if I'm looking at my collection going, what should I listen to? I might not instantly go to it, but if I put it on, I remember how great it is and how much I love it. So yeah, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
Right.
And it's kind of like Sgt. Pepper or Abbey Road, where I love them, but I'd rather listen to Mystery Tour sometimes because I get tired of Pepper,
Right. I hear you. Okay, number 4. Hold on one second.
While Tom's gone, I don't rank things, but this is fun. I appreciate the comments. I'm sorry we can't, respond to every single comment, but we're reading them and we enjoy them, and they're great stuff. Band on the Run, Ram, all these albums, and I think for people of my age who kind of bought them as they came out, they have a different feeling for people who kind of. I'm sure that people who listened to the Beatles as they came out,
right?
So,
right.
But there you go. So you're at number 3 now, I think. Is that right?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
4.
Tug of War. I think this might have been the first album I knew of his at real time, thanks to Ebony and Ivory and Take It Away, because I knew those videos. Okay, I didn't get the album, but I knew this album was out, and as I got it probably in the late 80s, early 90s at that some point in time, and I got exposure to it. Wanderlust, The Pound is Sinking, again, another song where he takes fragments of other songs and puts them together. Somebody That Cares, which I like to call his kind of caring trilogy of Somebody Who Cares, and Too Much Rain. Even Dress Me Up as a Robber, very Bee Gees-esque. Love it for that reason. I tire of Ebony and Ivory, but other than that, and Get It, I can take it or leave it. But this is, again, another, I think, fantastic record.
I always think that What's That You're Doing doesn't get enough love. That's a great
Right.
song too, and it's Stevie and Paul at their best. Great album. Tug of War is no argument for me. It's tied at number 1 for me with other albums.
Oh, my friend, you are funny. James says here, What's That You're Doing is Guilty Pleasure. James says, Pound is Sinking, Dress Me Up as a Robber, underrated gem.
Yeah.
Lynn says, Band on the Run, great album. Tug of War here today.
Wanderlust is one of the finest. Again, that's like Little Lamb Dragonfly. It's one of the best songs ever written. And, the melody. I just recently heard Brian Wilson's version of it, which is quite different. It's good, but I really love McCartney's.
Yes. Yes. It was cool that Brian Wilson did that track for Art of McCartney as well. So,
yeah.
All right. Top 3. Here we go. Flaming Pie.
No argument.
Yeah. You know, you got a lot of Beatle influence here. You know, it's coming after the Beatles anthology. You know, you got Ringo on tracks. You got George Martin helping out here and there. You know, this album influenced a lot from that period in time. And that's what I'm curious about this new album. If it's going to have any kind of like Beatle influence with this, you know, with Now and Then, and this, this new anthology 4. You know, but there's so many fantastic tracks on here. You know, how can you go wrong with Beautiful Night? Beautiful Night is just, gorgeous. Great Day.
Some days.
Some Days, Calico Skies, you name it. I mean, Really Love You.
Little Willow doesn't make you cry. You don't have a soul.
You do not have a soul if Little Willow does not touch you one way or another.
I
Absolutely. Agree. Yes. 100%. Some days, there's only 2 songs that I really just don't really care for, and that's Really Love You and If You Wanna. But I like what's his name's guitar playing on If You Wanna. But I'm just not the biggest fan of the lyrics on that one. Steve Miller, yeah. So Heaven on a Sunday, Ali. Thank you. That's another fantastic.
It's just a jam.
Track.
I think he's just having fun. Yeah. I mean, I love the B-sides of the album. I love everything about Flaming Pie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
What's number 2, Tom?
Number 2, as we try to hurry up and get this done. We've
got rushing.
Yeah. No, because I'm kind of rushing now. Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. I think this is his best album of this century. Again, an album that doesn't have a bad song on it, although not all of them are equally as high on the list for me. But again, you listen to the opening single, Fine Line, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a great upbeat record, right? And then you get it and you play the first song, which is Fine Line, but then, How Kind of You, I mean, this album just takes a complete 180, and then you're just transported in a whole different, way of thinking for this album. But How Kind of You, Jenny Wren, Friends to Go, English Tea, Too Much Rain, Riding into Vanity Fair, which I think is his best song of this century. Promise to You Girl, that never happened before. Every song is superb, but some are better than others. But since you don't do rankings, we'll leave that alone. But yeah, Chaos and Creation, and in one day it might surpass my number 1. It might surpass my number 1, isn't it?
You mentioned my 2 favorites. I love Friends to Go, and I love English Tea. I love the album. I agree with everything you said. What's number 1?
Number 1, my friend.
Not to be.
Yeah.
I knew it was Red because you had mentioned it. Yeah, just so you know, right. I knew it.
and you know what? To be honest with you, since the first time I heard this album, in the early '90s, it was my favorite. And I don't know. I mean, maybe just because it was that point in time when I was still discovering all this stuff, and I was just like in awe of what I was hearing. Stuff like Dear Boy, when you're hearing all this wonderful backing vocals from Linda, and then especially when you listen to Dear Boy with headphones on it, it's just amazing. Then you go to something completely crazy like Monk Buried Moon Delight. Holy shit. Backseat of My Car, again, I think is one of his top 10 best songs ever.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Go.
Backseat of My Car, to me, in my opinion, the members of Queen studied that song and based their entire career on it. Like I believe that, because if you listen to the structure of that song, the ins and outs, the intricacies, the harmonies, even the end, just I love Backseat. I love that song, and I peaked at 39 in the UK, and I don't get that. I don't get it at all. But anyways,
right? Because that was the single in the UK. Where over here we got Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey. Yeah, Admiral Halsey.
Eat at home, long-haired lady.
Yeah,
And Ram
well,
on,
and
Ram
then
on.
that's another one. You listen to Long Hair Lady with headphones, and listen to Linda's backing vocals again on that. Oh my god!
Yeah,
Oh my god!
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, Eat at Home. Yeah. I mean, the only song that sounds like it doesn't belong, but that's just the way because the way it sounds. It's Smile Away. It's the only song for me that just doesn't sound like it belongs on the album. Um, but that's neither here nor there. But it's from top to bottom. Ram on. Three Legs. I'm listening to Three Legs for the first time, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then Too Many People. Okay, what is he saying? Is he saying piss off cake or piss on cake? I mean,
well,
piece of
it's
cake.
either piece of cake or piss off. Yeah, whichever one you want to believe.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a
right.
piece of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So there'd be times where me and my uncle were listening to the album and we're like, what is he saying? What is he saying? It's just it's just a fantastic record. I love Too Many People. I think Too Many People is Too Many People is my second favorite on the. I mean, it used to be my favorite album. And then then I really discovered the backseat of my car. But again, but here's the crazy thing though. You listen to Too Many People and you're listening to Paul sing Too Many People preaching practices. And you're thinking, well, Paul, maybe you're doing the same now.
I tell you,
Um,
funny story is that was the very first album I saved up money for my birthday to buy,
yeah,
and can I still have my original copy that I played ad nauseum. I think I drove my brothers and my mother and my father insane because that album was I just love to this day. It's the album I go to all the time. I mean, I don't know if there's a week that goes by unless I'm on vacation. I can't get to my collection. I think
right.
every week I do that. And luckily, oddly enough, Tom, this may surprise you, but I got like 17 different versions. So
Of what? every Paul record?
maybe I'll listen to the British one now. No, I think I'll listen
Yes.
to the
This album when he signed to Columbia, okay, and the Columbia put out the Half Speed Master of Band on the Run. I would have loved the Half Speed Master of
Yeah,
Ram
me
as
too.
well.
Me too.
That would have been a fantastic listening experience. Did it ever come out? There were a few of his albums came out in that. Was it called Quadraphonic or what was it called?
Quadraphonic sound. Yeah,
Quad? Yeah,
quad. Yeah.
Quadfi. Yeah. I think, but only like two or three, right? I think it was like Venus and Mars. I know came out in quad sound. I think, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes,
I,
it did. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
And Band on the Run came out quad 8-track.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
Venus and Mars came out vinyl. I have Imagine on vinyl, quad, and Venus and
Mm,
Mars. Yeah.
yeah, cool.
But,
Excellent. Well, that is
I'm just
that's
looking. I'm
very
looking at James. He did the same thing with McCartney too. Thank you. Uh, Gabby with Ram. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm surprised any of my family still talks to me. But they don't.
Played it too much. Wow.
Oh,
This is Tom. How long would it take you to rank every song Paul ever released? That might take me a year.
that's a two-parter at least.
Um, that
A
might
two.
take me a year to. Yeah, that might be the Jerry Lewis 24-hour telethon show right there.
But
Where I would only do it if I was accepting donations and whatnot.
great list, Tom. You did a great job. I don't disagree with you. You did a
Oh,
great.
thank you.
Thank you for allowing me
I
to
appreciate
be.
it.
Oh, thank you.
But no. I mean, I did because I knew you would. I wanted you to be part of it because I knew you would appreciate, all the other stuff.
Thank
I
you.
knew you would appreciate the classical, the experimental, the live stuff. So, and plus I enjoy your company as well.
I enjoy
So,
your.
so thank you for,
Thank you.
you know,
You
and
should. You should.
I'm very happy. What's that?
What are you saying? You're very happy. What?
What you say? No, I'm very happy that you've got a new book coming out that we're going to be able to enjoy soon. So congratulations again on that.
Or
And really
use as
quick before we sign off,
you could use it
what?
for lining bird cages or to start a fire, kindling. No, the book will be out November. If you like Ringo
Right.
of the 70s, you might be surprised at some of the stuff that he did that you might not know about. And it was fun to research. I got to talk to a lot of cool people. And for those of you who like my Dark Horse book, there's like 3 chapters about Ringo records. So I'm very excited to get it out.
Yep. All right. Excellent. I want to thank everybody that participated. So many people, I might take next week off, just so you guys know. We'll see about that. We'll see how I feel. But again, this was a lot of fun. I had a great time, revisiting these albums. It was a good time. Again, thank you, Aaron. Thank you, everybody,
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, and I will see you all soon. I know we're going to have another. Andy and I will record another show here. I think next Monday we'll probably record another show. And we'll give you more information as we get closer to doing that. And have a great week, everybody. Summer's almost over, and Aaron's going to show that one more time just to be the buddy that he is, which I totally agree with him to doing that. It's totally fair. So, but everybody out there, enjoy the rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks, Tom.